Welcome, football fans! You are now tuned in live to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, day number 3. That's right, Joe. Today, we will dive right on in to the NFC West. I hope you're excited. I am ready to rock and roll. We are talking 4 teams that potentially could be the new powerhouse of the NFL, just depending. It was almost a couple years ago, then it kind of fell apart. But we are talking Seahawks, Niners, Rams, and Cardinals. It has been a great series so far. Oh my gosh, has it been a great freaking series. The first 2 days have been magical, I'll tell you that right now. We are now through 8 teams, and we have, 24 to go. This has been a fun series, as I said, and today, lots of trash talking. Stick it to them. It's just been a fun segment through and through. And, well, today, we are talking, like I said, about the NFC West. We have some teams that have it seems like they're completely rebuilt. The Niners, my goodness, talk about a team who has rebuilt. But I'll tell you what, it has been quite the rebuilding season for, I think, everybody. Last year, Seahawks, man, 12-4 season. The Niners looking absolutely horrid at 6-11. Then you have some in the middles, the Rams at 7-6 and the Cardinals at 8-8. This year they have the extra year, which is weird, but the extra game, which I don't like, and I think everyone has known that by now. But it's going to be fun, y'all. We'll be talking to 4 more diehards, as I know all of you are very excited for that. This is going to be absolutely awesome. So, go grab something delicious to snack on, to sip on, to enjoy, because you're in for 3 more hours of pure battle right here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC West. Ready? Here we go! Welcome, football fans. Well, here we go again. Day number 3. You are officially tuned in live for 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC week, day number 3, NFC West day, as we are talking Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals. And it's going to be another doozy. I'll tell you that right now. I haven't said that in a long time. Doozy. But, it's fun to use. I've done it. That's right. I've used the word doozy before, and it was a lot of fun. So, with that said, y'all, I got to say big ups to everybody already in the chat room, man. Big ups to my boy, Taryn Rodriguez, repping his Rams, of course, host of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show here at IA Sports Radio, repping his Rams and Chargers. He'll be on 1 week from today on the AFC West show, which I will be on as well, as a Raider fan. And big ups to my boy Andrew, man. Got to show him some love. My boy Andrew Hagenbaugh. He will be on next week's show talking about his Browns. So on next week's AFC North show, which will be 6 days from now, next Tuesday. So we'll get that interview for you guys recorded. So lots of great things here. Taryn says in the chat room, I got some water and a breakfast burrito. And breakfast burritos. Sorry, sir, plural. Yeah, I can go for some breakfast burritos, man. I got to find something to eat over here while we get through this whole show. But man, we got a good one for y'all today. I am so freaking excited because the fire has been feeding this one. I'll tell you what, hopefully you've been staying tuned here to the Twitter accounts, the 3 and Out Twitter account at 3 and Out, all spelled out, IESR, or my Twitter account at the the THEE_LB53, and seeing all the retweets because, man, Adrian and Gina have been going at it. That's the Rams and the Niners. Those two fans who represented their teams here on this show today. And, well, it has been fun. I've been retweeting their entire conversation, and I haven't even kept up with it. It's been a busy morning for me, but they are going at it. That is exactly what this show is. And, well, guess what? It's just getting ugly. There's mutual respect there, but lots of fun, y'all. So, with that said, let's keep the good times rolling once again. Go on over to IE Sports Radio, our Twitter at IE Sports Radio. On Twitter, of course. Scroll down, find the voting poll, and cast your vote for who you think is going to win this year's NFC West. Now, as of right now, the first 6 minutes here, first 5 to 6 minutes into the show, currently leading is the San Francisco 49ers with 47%. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Whoa, with 26%. That's a pretty big drop off. Then in third place right now, we have the Los Angeles Rams with 16, and then the Seattle Seahawks with 11. Wow. Wow. Yeah. There needs to be more votes, man. Dang, I didn't think the Seahawks would be that low. I thought this would be like straight up 25%, because maybe not, I hate to say this, but maybe not the Cardinals fully yet. But then again, the Cardinals have every reason to be optimistic, so let me take that back. No, they do, because I forgot. I just brain farted right now and forgot all about the big signings they made this offseason. So I'm just saying, y'all, and a pretty good draft. So, yeah, and Terrence is here in the chat room. LOL. All of these retweets have flooded my timeline. It's a waterfall of never-ending retweets of Rams, 49ers, and Cardinals. Yeah, I know. What the heck happened to the Seahawks? Where you at, Brad? I mean, I'm just kidding. But he'll be on the show later on today, of course. I know he's taking a little mini vacation with him and his wife, so be safe, sir. Be safe to the both of you. But yeah, it has been a great one, y'all. So as of right now, get on over, cast your vote there, of course. We'll be putting up the post in a little bit for your favorite smack talk for the Stick It To 'em segment. And yeah, so with that said, you guys, this has been fun. And yes, Gina G now in the chat room says, I'm having a blast. Well, she should be, because today is her day. Today is her Niners day. Taryn, let's see. The 49ers will definitely do good this year, but it's because they'll be playing a fourth place schedule. Oh, crap. Okay, well, with that said, let's ignite the fire. Well, we don't got to say that. The fire's already been ignited. So let's keep things going, y'all, as we are ready and set for another great one here. I'm not going to waste any time. I love to make an introduction. I love to talk a little bit. But, man, this is such a jam-packed episode. They all are. Big ups to everybody in the first 2 days. By the way, all 8 of our guests so far. We got plenty more. We're halfway through the NFC right now. 8 teams down. We got 8 more to go. And we're starting it off today here. Tomorrow, of course, we're talking NFC East. That's going to be another fun one as well. They've all been fun. But today, it is NFC West Day, and we're going to have some fun talking to all these diehards. So, with that said, I, once again, am the captain of the ship. Just kidding. I am your boy, Larry B, right here, bringing it to you live. This is going to be fun. One last comment here from Taryn. He says, the Cardinals will not do good this year at Cliff Kingsbury and made the mistake of not heading to USC and going to the Cardinals. Yeah, it would have been nice to have him in SC, but it is what it is. We'll see what he can do. But hey, who knows? The Cardinals could be a breakout team. We don't know yet. We haven't seen anything. Right now, it's all speculation. So, and just, predictions. So, with that said, you guys, I will see you in a few hours. I'm going to be chilling here, but of course playing all those interviews and hopefully finding something good to eat here. And, doing all of that. I just had a great workout this morning. I might get some core workout or do some band work here with my bands, a little extra arm work here. I'm hanging out and tweeting or chatting along with you here in the chat room. Have some fun. Jump in the chat room. Taryn is already ready to rock and roll with his drink and his breakfast burritos, and I hope you got something delicious. It is 11:39 a.m. Pacific time, 2:39 p.m. Eastern time. So whether you're having breakfast or lunch, well, enjoy. Once again, you are listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, day number 3 on NFC Week, NFC West Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. All right, y'all. It is day number 3 of 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. And as you heard me in the introduction, we have got some great guests lined up for you today, of course, as we are talking to my boy Josh. I'm glad to have him a part of this, man. Diehard Rams fan. We're talking to Miss Gina G in just a little bit, of course, with her Niners. And, of course, we are talking to Miss Angela of IE Sports Radio. Actually, both Miss Angela and Miss Gina G are at IE Sports Radio. And just as a few minutes ago, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to be the host of our brand new Cascadia show covering all of Seattle and Oregon sports. So glad to have him a part of this. I mean, he might even throw some British Columbia in there. I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so freaking glad to have this guy back here on the air. He is one of the biggest diehard Seahawk fans you'll ever meet. He's from the area, and I'll tell you right now, he loves his Seahawks. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from just north of Seattle, Washington, welcoming back for his first time in a little bit. Glad to have him. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Brad Buckingham. What's going on, Brad? How you doing today, man?
What's up, Larry? Glad to be on the show, man.
Glad to have you, man. And wouldn't you know, we just had a conversation a few minutes ago that, I mean, I'm excited, man. We're bringing you aboard for our Cascadia show. How you liking that?
Dude, so pumped for it, man. I can't wait to join the team. I can't wait to talk about everything in the Cascadia area about sports. I'm a huge sports fan up here in the Northwest. I just want to represent it out there for everyone. So would love to be on it.
I'm honored, man. I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to love it, man. This is great. So with that said, y'all, day number 3, as I always like to say, this has actually been pre-recorded, as you've heard me say a million times already this week. This is Wednesday's show, Wednesday, July 21st, talking NFC West, but of course, this was recorded on Saturday, July 17th. Regardless, we are here ready to rock and roll, and kicking us off, starting off the show here, we are talking Seahawks football with Brad Buckingham. Kind of funny, because as I told you before, Brad, we have your counterpart, I guess, if you will, Brandon Buckingham, who is kind of funny because he's in Arizona. He hosts Bases Loaded with Brett Henley. With Blake Henley and Chris. And it's kind of funny because we just added our brand new Kansas City show. And Brad, I thought about you, man, for a few seconds when I was talking to him the other day, bringing him on live, because his name is actually, kind of similar to yours.
Yeah, I know. Not a lot of Buckinghams out there, man.
No,
we're a dime a dozen.
No, we actually have another host, man. He's doing our Kansas City show, and he's from Kansas.
Oh, okay.
And his name is Brandon Buck.
Oh. Brandon.
So
nice.
We now have Brad Buckingham.
Close. Might get confused there in a couple times.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get confused right now. We now have Brad Buckingham, Brandon Buck, and Brandon Buckingham.
Man. All 3 of us us just need to get together. Just a Buck show, man.
Don't give a buck with an explain.
Don't give a buck about sports.
Oh, this is great, man. I'm loving it. I mean, we definitely do, but this is awesome. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, kicking us off here on NFC West Day, talking about those high-flying Seattle Seahawks. Let's go ahead and talk real quick about this, man. Your Seahawks last year. What a season in a weird way. Go ahead and talk about those Seahawks last year, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, it being a really weird year, just being, with the COVID and everything like that, expectations, I think, weren't exceptionally high because you didn't know what you were going to expect that season. And the way the first half went, we're like, man, this offense is unstoppable. I mean, the defense is, can be forgotten, but the way Russell Wilson was playing the first half of the year, you think he was going to win the MVP. You think he was just going to take it off by storm and everything like that. And then that bye week happened, and then things started to fall apart in that second half. He was getting turnovers, and it just expectations on that offense just started to die down. But the defense started picking it up. So, okay, maybe the defense now has to hold the team together. So, because Russell Wilson's not doing his part. And then come, playoff time, we win the division. That's when we win the division, usually can make it really far ahead into the playoffs. And then, of course, the Rams and Aaron Donald just had our number that game. So
they did,
yeah.
And you guys just weren't. It was a tough deal. But at the end of the day, man, it's a new season, and the craziest part about the Seahawks this offseason, and we're going to get into the free agency right now. We're going to get into the draft. We're going to get into, of course, stick it to them. That's been fun all week long so far. But, dude, we got to talk about Russell Wilson real fast because, I mean, seriously. What this is kind of like one of those where were you when this happened kind of thing, because Russell Wilson was like rumored beyond rumored earlier this year, like he's going here, he's going there, he's not happy with the Seahawks, and then out of nowhere he just pops out like, I never said any of this, and then it died.
Oh man, it was a fiasco indeed, and I was kind of on Russell Wilson's side for the most part of that. We've never had a solid offensive line. You look at Aaron Rodgers' offensive line; he's had it great for almost his entire career. And it all depends on like where the Seahawks want to spend their money. And usually it's on the defensive side, or if it's on a weapon or something like that. And of course, you got a lot of money invested in Russell Wilson, so you got to invest in other parts for him too. And he wasn't getting that. But I think this offseason, they really changed that, I think, by signing Gerald Everett, by drafting a wide receiver in the second round, by getting him another speedy weapon, like kind of McCole Hardman type wide receiver, someone who can just beat you down the deep threat. And they listened to him. They talked it over. I think Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, I think, really had a heart-to-heart and want to get this done. I think it's Super Bowl or bust for them. And Russell Wilson wants that. Pete Carroll wants that too. And I think it's a relationship that's going to be stronger heading into this season for sure.
I think so too. I can't ignore hearing all those things about, because was it you last year we were talking about this with on the show where like there was like this rumor where Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson literally don't really see eye to eye and all that. Like, I mean, it was kind of weird. I was not expecting that. I don't know where I heard that from, but like, basically Russell Wilson just takes control of the offense and does what he wants, and Pete Carroll doesn't really care about the defense, about anything but the defense, and there's all these little weird things, and I don't even know if they're true. So coming from a diehard fan, I mean, what do you really think about all that?
Yeah, so I know Pete Carroll, he's kind of one of those hovering coaches, right? He wants to know what's going on everywhere around the team. When he goes on that practice field during training camp, he wants to see what the defense is doing. Okay, what's the offense doing? He's going around, kind of like Bill Belichick. He goes around. He wants a bit a part of everything on the team. So he wants to be in the know. And I think what the philosophical differences were, I think, was with Pete Carroll and former offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. They had two different I guess, philosophies. We don't know much about it. But what we saw in that second half was Russell Wilson. They gave him the keys to the car. They gave him the big recipe. Here, you're going to cook, Russ. That was the whole motto. Let Russ cook. And he was cooking. And then he started turning the ball over. Defenses started figuring him out. He wasn't doing his checkdowns. Then Pete Carroll's like, all right, the number one rule is protect the ball. You got to take care of the ball. No more turnovers. And then they wanted to get the ball down towards the running back side. They want to be more balanced offense. And a lot of people think, well, balanced offense, run game, Pete Carroll wants his run game and everything. And Brian Schottenheimer, I think, just wanted to keep doing that deep threat thing. And then defense started covering it out. So I think now with this new offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron, first-time play caller, from what we've heard, it's going to be a whole new system. It's totally complex from what I've heard from other players, like Tyler Lockett saying it's a very complex system. So we're going to see something totally different and that we haven't seen here in Seattle, where it's basically, run ball first, then go down deep. So it's very exciting to see what Pete Carroll has in store with Shane Waldron and how Russell Wilson's going to take this offense to a different level.
I really like this. I feel like right now these two are gonna, it's okay. I think that. Do you think they have a good relationship? I think they do.
Yeah, between Russ and Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they've been dynamic duo since day one, since they drafted him, all the way back in 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, or no, 2012. Sorry, 2012 when they drafted him. And yeah, he's ever since that. What game was it? I think that Chicago Bears game on the road, where it's the game-winning pass to Sidney Rice in the end zone. I think since that moment, they knew Russell Wilson was the guy. He was going to be the guy to lead the team. And people had, all of his other teammates had his back from that point on. And yeah, I think that they're very, they have a very synergy-like relationship. They know what's going on. They communicate. And I think, with this whole fiasco in the offseason, people kind of thought it was on the fringe and everything. But when you talk it over with, your fellow partner, you get the communication part down, you tend to fix relationships that way, from my personal experience.
Absolutely. And yeah, man. So let's go ahead and talk about real quick this free agency, man, because you guys had some crazy stuff. Carlos Dunlap not going anywhere. You locked him down. Thank God. He's a crucial part of that defense. There were some big ones. Tyler Lockett, I still remember seeing him right before he got drafted in his last couple of games or in his last season, freaking running back a kick return for Kansas State, and I was like, man, he's going to be great. And then he goes to Seahawks and does it there. I'm like, yep, I knew it. You know what I mean? What do you call it? So some players we kept. Benson Mayowa, former Raider. I think he was, still a good, you guys kept him. Ethan, some people, I know his name is I think he's Slovakian or Serbian. I don't want to, give him the wrong nationality.
You're talking about Ethan Posick?
Posick, yes, because I do know that Pulisic from the U.S. soccer team. I know this is, I don't know if it's sick or sick, but yeah, him. You guys kept him. So some great players that I thought you guys really, really picked. Kyle Fuller, the big man, the left guard. Chris Carson, of course, running back. I felt was a big piece. Puna Ford, that was a great, keep there for the defensive line. But then, man, there were some kicks in the nuts here. I'm just going to say it, seriously. Man, Carlos Hyde, I liked him a lot. And he's a Jag. I don't know what he really, what was going on there, what was happening there. But that was kind of a toughie in my opinion. Philip Dorsett going to the Jaguars as well. That was kind of tough because I thought he was pretty good as well. Let me see here. Another one, my biggest departure, and maybe, I don't know, but Quentin Dunbar, man, going to the Lions. I thought that was pretty tough. But still, there were some players, going here, going there. And then, of course, some players you did acquire. Witherspoon, I thought was pretty good. Corner picked up from the Niners, rival Niners. They're also Kerry Hyder coming over. Or Hayter, I don't butcher his name there, but, coming over from the Niners as well. So there were some good pickups as well coming on over. So go ahead and go over some of your biggest departures and your biggest signings and why.
All right, we'll start with the bad side, the departures. I think losing Shaquille Griffin, our number one cornerback, to the Jaguars was probably the biggest loss and probably one of the most important pieces we had in that defense last year, considering the depth at cornerback that we had. We did lose Quentin Dunbar as well, but he wasn't playing to the expectation that he was. He had that whole felony incident that he was dismissed in Florida, and he just didn't really pan out. He couldn't get the system down. He wasn't playing enough. He was injured. So we really had to lean on Shaquille Griffin as that number one corner, and him getting paid big bucks. Kudos to him down in Jacksonville. He was definitely our biggest loss. He was a very keystone piece for that defense. Biggest addition, probably retaining Chris Carson. He has been a workhorse. He has been a dominant force in that backfield for that offense. And you see it when he runs. He runs with ferocity, something you haven't seen since Marshawn Lynch. Very underrated running back. And then you would love to see him get more involved in that passing game, which he was in that first half of last season. He caught some very big touchdowns in big spots last year. And, yeah, he was, I think, with Russell Wilson, it was very important to have Chris Carson having some familiarity in that backfield. I think also, I do like the signing of Gerald Everett. Very, very quiet signing, I think, and I think he was going to be a big part this season. So that's just my X factor on that signing right there.
I like it, and yeah, man, you guys had some good pickups, man. And then we can just mosey our way on over to the draft. I mean, seriously, dude, this was pretty cool too. You didn't have that first round. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. That was pretty crazy.
Overrated. First rounders, overrated, right?
Well, you picked up a guy by the name of Dwayne Eskridge out of Western Michigan. And you know something? Western Michigan, I get it. They may not have been this big monster like how they had their 1 year, the Cotton Bowl year, where they were pretty good. But overall, they're still developed some great players. And, he's a fast wide receiver. I really feel like that was, a nice pickup there. No third round, but you guys did go ahead and go with Trey Brown out of Oklahoma. This, to me, was a steal in the fourth round. I can't believe he fell so far. He's actually a very good corner. And our very own Brennan Epperson, Cowboys fan, over on the Red River Rush, covering with Mariella, covering all Texas and Oklahoma sports. He'll be the first one to tell you that, this kid's a good player. He's a good kid. He seems to have kept his nose clean, at least from what I know. You know what I mean? He seems like a very good, just overall good player. I really like what he has to offer. And you talked about the departure of that sucks. When you lose great athletes. But overall, I just feel like he's a fourth rounder that could have been even higher. So he can definitely make that fill that void. I mean, it's overall it was tough to see that. You're absolutely right. First we have Richard Sherman, of course, which I know everyone's all over him right now about what happened. But, when he was a Seahawk, man, and now it's just so weird seeing him in Niners colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is so weird, so you see that and, it's like, okay, so you guys rebuild, and you guys keep, there was once the Legion of Boom back there, one of the most scariest freaking secondaries ever. And now Shaquille Griffin, Shaquille Griffin was a freaking beast, and unfortunately he's on his way to the Jaguars. So it's like, ouch. But I still feel like you guys find ways to find great players, and I honestly feel like Trey Brown is going to be a very good player for you guys in that secondary. I don't know if he'll start right away. He just might. I don't know, but he's a pretty damn good player. But anyway, so that we got Stone Forsythe, offensive tackle out of Florida, and that was really it. So overall, not very many picks, but go ahead and talk about it, and please elaborate. What do you think for these guys going into their first year? What is your draft grade? What did you really think of this draft?
Yeah, only 3 picks this year, so it's kind of hard to, I think a lot of people are giving them a high draft grade, nothing farther than a C+, right? But I wouldn't give them a letter grade. I would just give them a check. They checked off some boxes there. They got a weapon for Russell Wilson, a second round, speedy guy who can get out in the deep end right away, just kind of like the speedster in Kansas City, Tyreek Hill. That's kind of what I see. He's got real top end speed, so I really like that pick. And then Trey Brown. He played a lot of good football in Oklahoma. He came up in a lot of big spots. Of course, I think there was that game against Texas and that part of that Red River rivalry. My dad being a huge Texas Longhorn fan, and it broke his heart when Trey Brown got that pick. So I think he's going to be a good kid. I think he comes up in a lot of big spots. I think if he was just a little bit taller, he was a first rounder. I think that's what a lot of people have said about him. And with Stone Forsythe, I mean, the guy's like, what, Rock Jr.? The Rock Jr. is what I saw his Twitter page. He's got the turtleneck and the necklace, and he looks exactly like the Rock. It cracked me up, man. I love that pick so much just based off of that Twitter pick. I think they saw him as a good depth on that offensive line, given a big size on that left tackle position. And with Dwayne Brown going up in age and without a contract extension, he might be the next prodigy in that left tackle position. So I think it's overall, only 3 picks. Giving a lot of picks up for getting Jamal Adams. I think they did what they could with those 3 picks, and so overall, not bad. Yeah,
I like it. I like how you said I'm going to give him a check. I like that because you're absolutely right. It's kind of hard to grade against 3 picks, but you're definitely right, man. They checked off what they needed. And you know what? I feel like that is exactly what is needed in the draft. Even when you have a full freaking, isn't that what a draft is anyway? You check off what you need. You know what I mean? It's like going to the grocery store. If we have 4 gallons of milk at home, we're not going to get another one. You know what I mean? Like we definitely need to get what we need, and that's it. So I really feel like the Seahawks definitely did their grocery shopping. They did really, really good, and I really feel that they, that overall it was a good draft. So good stuff there. So taking a quick look here at the depth chart. I mean, as of right now, what do you see? I mean, just what do you see personally going into the season? What do you really see? You have Russell Wilson, of course, starting doing his thing. Geno Smith is behind him, but still, I mean, Chris Carson, beast. Metcalf is still there, still playing hard. Tyler Lockett is still there. You have 2 really good receivers right there. Pretty decent offensive line. Gerald Everett, tight end. I mean, really overall, Dunlap is back. Puna Ford is there, which is freaking awesome. Kerry Hyder, I don't know butcher his name, but also Brian Money, I don't know how to pronounce his name either. But Wagner is still there, which is pretty sweet because Bobby Wagner came from high school not too far from where I'm at in Southern California, so really cool. Beastie player. Overall, the secondary has been rebuilt. I mean, overall, man, or at least, rebuilding, or I don't know what you want to call it, but overall, I think this is a pretty solid team. Now, I want to know what your thoughts are going into the season and what roles you think guys are going to end up playing on this team.
Yeah, this team, I think, so far has one of the biggest and better depth positions than probably since 2013, that Super Bowl team. I think their depth is very deep on that defensive line side compared to last year. Of course, getting Kerry Hyder, bringing Carlos Dunlap back was huge. Benson Mayowa, you see that defensive ends from 2013 when you had Bennett and Averill and names escape me, but there were so many on that team that were so good, and you just love to have that depth at defensive end. And when I see that and those moves that they made, it makes me really excited to have that good defense again. And I know the expectations, I think, this year are Super Bowl or bust for sure. You just hope for Russell Wilson's sake it's Super Bowl or bust because we don't want to lose him. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things to come, I think, for this team, especially with DK Metcalf turning into a superstar. Tyler Lockett's still Tyler Lockett doing Tyler Lockett things. He is probably Russell Wilson's comfort blanket, I think. He loves going his way. Tight end position, Will Dissly, Gerald Everett, and there's that kid, Colby Parkinson out of Stanford we drafted, I think, last year, and I think they have really high hopes for him as well. And I always forgot about the Gabe Jackson trade when they got him from Oakland, putting him at that right guard position. I think they're actually moving him to left guard. So that was a big piece that I failed to mention on that. And that's going to be probably Russell Wilson's potentially better offensive line he's had since that Super Bowl team. So, I mean, you look at that on paper and, like, this is pretty good. I like what I see here. I don't know what else we can do. We had to get cut Jaron Reed, who's with the Chiefs, just for cap casualty reasons, you know. He wanted to get paid, but, you know, it's business. So, but with the emergence of Poona Ford, you know, he's just a run stopper. He's a dominant piece in that defensive line right in the center. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, in the backfield with Jamal Adams back there, you know, hopefully we'll get him re-signed. That's what's everyone's mind right now is when's he going to get that extension? How's that deal going? So hopefully that gets done before training camp. And then once that's locked up, I think we're good to go. We're good to go for this season.
I think so too. You guys are solid, man, and overall, this is a good football team. I can't really say too much. There's no negativity in my opinion here. I can't really sit here and tell you like, oh yeah, Brad, I think they can work on this or work on that. Honestly, man, you guys really do have a good football team, and it's really cool to see, you know, all of the just the positivity coming from here. So with that said, Brad, big stuff, man, and thank you once again for being on today's show. But as we know, this has been a great segment all week long. It's going to always be a great segment here on 3 and Out. I've been doing this about 2 years now. And this is just a fun way to end these segments here on 3 and Out. 8 divisions in 8 days. And this, of course, is having fun with the rest of the division. So, with that said, Mr. Brad, go ahead and have your fun here. These can be respectful, disrespectful, a mixture of both, however you want to do it, man. But the rest of the NFC West, you have the Rams, the Niners, and of course the Cardinals. You know the drill, man. You get to talk
like Michael Scott style in the office to go boom, roasted.
However you want to do it, man. If you want to Jim Rome it, however you want to do it. Without further ado, Brad, stick it to him.
All right. Let's see. Cardinals side. I got an uncle in Colorado, big Arizona Cardinals fan, and he just loves to rub it's KT time. It's KT time. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Kyler Murray, man. He's going to be great. Yeah, he's going to be great. But your Cliff Kingsbury, come on, the dude can't coach. I don't know, like. Yeah, you guys signed a bunch of off-season players. Like, you know, you got J.J. Watt. Good for you. He's old. He's broken. He costs a lot of money. He's probably not going to do a whole lot. He'll probably miss, like, half a season. Good for you. You got A.J. Green washed up. Good for you. You got him, though. And you got Chandler Jones. That's probably it. Hey, do you, Arizona? You still got to face the Seahawks and Niners and Rams twice a season. So, yeah, have fun being last again at 8-9. For the Rams, I hate you. For the Niners, I also hate you. But you guys are really good. I can't say much about that because they're really good. I want to trash them, but they're just too good. So, but don't like them. Don't like them at all. And that's all I got to say about that. Boom roasted.
Well, there is the boom roasted. Well, with that said, man, great stuff as always. I love it. A little disrespect, a little respect in there. Hey, man, the Cardinals could be a little better than we think.
Yeah, yeah. As long as Kyler Murray does Kyler Murray things, they're a scary offense to have. I won't deny it.
Well,
Kingsbury's got it. I think his job's on the line.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Craziness, man, and on all directions in the NFL, man, however it may go from here to there, man. But with that said, this has been awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Brad Buckingham, you are the man. We appreciate you for stopping by here today, man, for showing us some love and being a part of today's show, man. Thanks again for everything, and we look forward to it, man. We're going to be in talks right now. We'll be talking about your brand new show, getting ready to rock and roll here at IA Sports Radio, repping all Cascadia, so we're really excited for that, or repping Cascadia, so we're really excited for all that, man. So with that said, man, thanks again. Where can all these diehard Seahawks fans find you?
All right. Right now, find me on the Twitter at Bearded Emerald on the Twitter. That's where I do all my sports Twitter. And then, I got a Twitter page for that podcast coming soon. So stay tuned on that part.
It's going to be awesome. So with that said, Brad, thanks again for stopping by, man, for being a part of here today, man. We wish you all the best, and we thank you for joining the IA Sports Radio family, man. Thanks again, and we will talk to you very soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, brother.
All right. Take care, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. Alrighty, y'all. With that said, that was kicking off, of course, the NFC North Day here, day 3 of 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. Talking NFC West today, so big ups to Mr. Brad Buckingham. Great stuff as always. Can we give him another hand? Round of applause, man. Great guy as always, and we really appreciate him, man, and all he does here for us at iSports Radio. Looking forward to that new show. He's a great guest, and we're looking forward to that new show coming up. So with that said, y'all, we got plenty more NFC West coming your way today. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC West Day, day 3 of NFC Week, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, as you heard, starting off NFC West Day, day number 3 here on NFC Week, here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, talking to Mr. Brad Buckingham, the new host of our brand new Pacific Northwest Sports, of course, Northwest Territory Sports, coming up this coming Sunday. Really excited for that. But start this off, as I said, Mr. Brad Buckingham, and going right on into another IE Sports Radio host. She's been around for a little bit, I guess about a month or so, but she has, actually a few months now, about 2 months now, around there, but she has done amazing, and we are so freaking happy. She is a quick rising star here on IE Sports Radio, and this woman loves her Niners. I'll tell you that right now. So this is going to be exciting and a lot of fun. It's her first time doing this particular show, and I'm really excited to have her live today. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the host of Reppin' the NorCal Sports here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Miss Gina G. What's going on, Gina? How are you doing today? I am glad to hear that, and I am really excited to have you on here. For some crazy reason, For some crazy reason, I feel like you're gonna have a lot of fun with the stick it to 'em section at the end, of course. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But anyway, with that said,
Oh, you know it.
oh, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump on into these Niners. This is last year. Let's start with last year. Okay, so first things first, what did you think about these Niners last year? Give us every raw emotion from the start of the season to the end.
Well, as people may know, last season was, I'm just going to be realistic, pitiful, but it was what I like to refer as our wheelchair season. It was an injurious season, okay? Just calling it like it is. We were very injured. I mean, we had Kittle out, who is basically like one of our wide receivers. We had Raheem Mostert out for a lot of the games. I mean, everyone was just, we had Garoppolo out, and, love him or hate him, he was a very, vital piece in the 2019 season. And, he helped take us to the Super Bowl in 2019. So we were really, really, just very, it was a crucially, it was supposed to be our revenge season, and it just was the complete opposite. So it was not, as a fan, a diehard, faithful 49er fan, yeah, it was an extremely frustrating season for us. And, win or lose, I was there, watched every game from beginning to end. Those games like the Miami game, and yeah, I mean, that's a game I want to forget. But it was a bad season.
Well, definitely, yeah, it's a properly named, kind of sad with the wheelchair season, because, yeah, you guys were really banged up last year, which totally sucks. But hey, it's a new season, everything's good. So let's go ahead and talk about these acquisitions from the offseason, all right? So we got a lot of big departures. We got a lot of big signings. So let's go ahead and go through some of these. So you guys managed to keep D Ford. That was pretty good. I mean, that's a blessing right there, thank God, because you guys need all, you guys had one of the most potent defensive lines a couple of years ago. Then Buckner, you guys let him go, of course. I think that was salary cap issues, but, just a lot. But I'm glad you guys were able to keep D Ford. You also keep Trent Williams. And then you guys had some big departures. Number one thing, Solomon Thomas. I remember when he got drafted, I think, second overall. Pretty awesome that he's actually going to my Raiders. I'm sorry, Gina. But crazy to think that. I didn't even notice that or know that. But yeah, head on over to the Raiders. In my opinion, that's a pretty big loss for the Niners. Another one, Tevin Cole. What was that?
No, I was just laughing because he was drafted kind of high, and that was looking, 2020 vision, is always, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always 2020 vision, and a lot of 49er fans are like, why was he drafted so high when we could have gotten so many other people? Yeah.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. But, I mean, still, the guy is a heck of an athlete, and I still think, he was... he definitely could make a difference on any team. I'm glad he's going to my team, but yeah, I mean, he definitely, paid his dues there, or played good football there. But you guys also have Tevin Coleman. He will head on over to the Jets. You have Kendrick Bourne going on to the Patriots. Also, Let's see here. Who else? Kerry Hyder is actually on his way to the Seahawks, a rival team here. So that was a pretty big pickup for them, I believe. Also, Witherspoon heading on over. Akelo, I believe is his name. Witherspoon heading over to the Seahawks. So, yeah, there's just some pretty big names that kind of walked away. Nick Mullins, we remember when Jimmy G went down. Nick Mullins jumped in, and he was amazing. I think it was a Thursday night game. And, of course, he's a product of the old school MTV show called Two-A-Days where they covered Hoover High School, and he's a product of that school. So I mean, that was pretty cool to see that. But yeah, I guess some big time moves here I saw.
I'm gonna have to interject real quick. Mullins? Okay. In the beginning of the season, we called him BDE, and I don't want to. Well, I don't know if I can curse on this show, but if you know what BDE stands for, well, Big D Energy. Okay. BDN, sorry. If you know what BDE stands for, B, four-letter word, D,
Oh my
Nick.
gosh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but he throws, an ungodly amount of interceptions for a quarterback. Okay. I'm not saying 25, but so as a 49er fan, and Twitter went nuts. 49ers Twitter went nuts. No, we're kind of happy that he's gone.
Well, definitely. I mean, I can say, hey, he helped you guys get a victory that day. You know, so but I do know, I do understand. I think it was, I don't know if it was a win or not, but I know he shocked everybody. But regardless, I mean, once again, he's on his way out. You know, I mean, I never called him a starter or anything like that. But, you know, also Trent Taylor making his way to the Bengals. So, you know, some departures this year in the offseason. Then you guys have some pretty big signings, I thought. For sure, McCole Pruitt coming out of coming from Tennessee, that was a pretty good pickup there to help out. Of course, Kittle is the man there, but hey, you always, I mean, 2 tight end sets are huge. I mean, once again, depends on how they're going to use him, but that was pretty big. Zach Kerr coming over for the Panthers on the defensive line as well. I thought that was pretty legit. You know, pretty good pickup there as well. James Burgess, linebacker, coming over from the Packers, was actually another big acquisition. I feel like Wayne Goldman, I remember him coming out of, I believe, was it Clemson he came out of? My gosh, a couple years back at a running back. For the Giants, yeah, he's heading on over to the Niners now. Pretty good stuff there. Yeah. Mark Fields, corner from the Texans. That team's completely just falling apart right now. So they're getting rid of their players. It's like Sears, everything must go. You know what I mean? So that's happening. But yeah, you know, Maurice Hurst, of course. Remember the Raiders drafted him a couple years ago, and he's heading on over to the Niners now. So what was that?
I'm sorry, you said who?
Maurice Hurst. He'll be on his way over to the Niners. Oh. So yeah, you know, I guess some big pickups, some key departures here. I want to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on some of the biggest pickups and some of the biggest departures of last season?
Some of the what? I'm sorry?
What are your thoughts on some of the biggest departures and some of the biggest pickups of the last season?
The departures. Yeah, I mean, Buckner was gone before, 2020, so that one, we, 49ers Twitter and 49er fans, we were pretty upset. That's the one that hurt the most. We didn't think that Eric Armstead was going to, be the one to step up into his shoes, fill his shoes and be the one that was like the next sort of Buckner. But, I think all in all, we were, sort of satisfied. But, they still talk about it. I mean, 49er fans still talk about, Buckner being gone and everything like that. But I think all in all, we're okay with it. But, and like I said, Buckner, we still talk about Buckner being gone, and that sort of hurt. I think D4, yeah, and Trent Williams, I think we're going to, okay. I mean, that's a nice pickup, everything like that. Tevin Coleman being gone, I think we're okay with that. KB, I think we're okay with that. Witherspoon, we're okay with that. Obviously, Mullins, we're okay with that. I really like Goldman came the year before, so I definitely, I was looking at the stats and everything, and that looks really good. So I'm actually excited about which I want to get into, are the draft picks. So if you don't mind, I would like to move on to that.
Well, as we know, the draft is always nice, but I feel like the biggest moves are always in free agency. The draft is always such a yes, lots of, and trust me, I'm the first person to say that I will always love college football way more than I will ever love the NFL or any professional sport. To me, college is where it's at. I love it. But I do, of course, love my professional football. But I will tell you right now, and I'm going to contradict myself, but you don't always know what they're going to do. You don't always know if their game will translate to the draft or from college to the NFL, and that's a toughie. I feel like free agency, I was like that a long time ago. I used to think, oh man, the draft. And like I said, it's completely okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, so it's completely fine, G. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, I'm way more on free agency. Like, my goodness. Like, I feel like if we can make trades, I'm down. You know what I mean? Because at least you know the product you're getting in NFL, like in the experience field. So, I don't know. But there are definitely some...
One person we did get that I'm sort of, not excited about, but happy about is Alex Mack. I mean, you could kind of go both ways. And he came from the Falcons, and
yes.
He did work with Shanahan before. So, he's getting older. He's 35, turning 36. He didn't have a stellar of a year last season, but he did have a great, the Falcons had, in 2016, one of the best, offenses, and a lot of credit was given to him, at that time.
Mm-hmm.
His run blocking, though, last year, declined. And so fans, people are questioning if, and in other podcasts too, I was checking that out, we're questioning if he's, on the decline. But I think in the 49ers, he's, a vet, he bring that leadership role. Kyle believes in him,
Mm-hmm.
He knows the system, Kyle's, system and everything like that. Is he going to replace Ben Garland? I don't know. And Weston Richburg, is the center. He's gone. He retired. So I think he's a good pickup. But getting back to the draft, I'm telling you,
well,
we needed depth. We needed, and I think that's so important for the 49ers because we picked up a lot of guys. We need, Mostert was getting injured, okay? He was the most important player in the playoffs in 2019. I mean, how many yards did he get, breaking a record and everything like that? So we need that. And Jalen Hurd, our wide receiver, who didn't play because he was back-to-back injuries for 2 years, he's coming back. And, we need that. Deebo Samuel was injured last year. And Ayuk, he was our rookie last year. Oh my God, he's going to be a breakout star.
Watch him.
I think he's going to be huge, this year.
Oh yeah.
We need our run and Deebo. Oh my God, he plays like a running back in the backfield. Oh my God,
yeah.
All the yards after catch. We're going to be huge. We drafted some O-line. With Alex Mack, he's the vet, but we don't know. Trent Williams, we don't know if how we're going to be, with last season being so injurious. And then Sherman, I'm not going to get into the whole personal situation because that's neither here nor there, but we need, with Emmanuel Mosley gone, we need that defensive depth. So we've got Talana Hufanga coming in. Oh my God, the accolades. He's a safety. Oh my God, that guy's going to be, I don't know how much playtime he's going to get, but he's going to be huge if, he's in the lineup.
Well, let me go ahead and intervene there, Gina, because I want to make sure I introduce everybody. So let me go ahead and jump on in. So let's go ahead and get on into the draft, of course. of course, we know we're already there. So I'm going to go ahead and just start it with everything. Of course, I know you already you already went into it, but so with
I'm so excited.
and it's okay, it's okay. So as for the draft, of course, this year, the number 3 overall pick, of course, the elephant in the room, Trey Lance.
Right.
The biggest thing is with Trey Lance is everybody's thinking, well, first things first, when in the hell is North Dakota State going to actually become a D1 single A school? Like, are you done beating up on the double A's? Like, seriously? Like, are you done playing in the FCS so you can play in the FBS now? Because I think they have definitely graduated. Now, we've seen a couple guys come up. Carson Wentz, say what you will, but he was pretty dang good coming out. One of their biggest stars, of course, if not their biggest, coming out of their school. Easton Stick came out right after him. He was under him and went to the Chargers. I don't even know where he is now, but back up. And then a couple years go by, and this guy by the name of Trey Lance is just continuing to deliver. And wouldn't you know it, he ends up becoming the number 3 overall pick, coming right out, and, going to the Niners. So pretty big pickup there. There's a lot of question marks, but then again, who knows? He could be the guy. And the only question marks, I think, are just where are you guys going to put him and what you going to do with him. That's kind of big. Aaron Banks, number 2 overall pick, guard from Notre Dame. Overall, Banks is a damn machine. I mean, Quentin Nelson came from there a couple years ago. I mean, overall, we all know that Notre Dame is no stranger to producing great linemen. Last year was definitely not Notre Dame's best year. However, he would be blocking for a, pretty darn good quarterback in Ian Book.
Yeah.
So good job for them, and I thought that was a great pickup as well. Next up, Trey Sermon, running back out of Ohio State. Ohio State, I mean, they were the unfortunate runner-up to Alabama. I mean, that is if you're an Ohio State fan. If you're an Alabama fan, well, you were very happy. But regardless, for Sermon, he seemed like he was just a great player back in his college days, and I feel like that was just, as you said, more depth, really good stuff. Ambry Thomas, cornerback out of Michigan. Michigan, it's interesting to think that this team, Western Michigan, it's just, the Broncos have had lots of numbers here and there in the last couple of years. Some good players come out. And, definitely just since their Cotton Bowl year, not really the best. But regardless, still produced some great players. I don't know too much about him, but at the end of the day, we'll continue on real quick. So Jalen Moore, offensive tackle out of Western Michigan, another big boy here. You talked about, Dimbador, I don't butcher his name, but Lenore, corner out of Oregon. He's a Pac-12 guy, so I think we know him all too well in the Pac-12, of course, right, Gina? Talana Hufanga, a freaking beast safety out of SC. I'm a SC fan all day long, so you guys added another monster back there. Elijah Mitchell, running back out of Louisiana, and that is your entire draft. So, once again, my apologies, Gina, but I just want to go ahead and introduce all those players. But yes, continue as you were. Go ahead and tell us all about your thoughts on this rookie class, and tell us, go ahead and give us a grade if you can.
I would say, an A minus, not even the minus. I don't know, because look at Trey Sermon. First of all, he was the highest drafted running back since 2000, I believe. Oh no! In the Lynchahan, we call it Lynchahan era, John Lynch and Kyle. But I think he's going to be he's a force to be reckoned with, and I follow Eric Davis. He's the old cornerback from the old era that is the 90s era with Super Bowl and 49ers. And he said, straight up, because people were questioning, 49er fans were questioning if, why are we drafting running backs? Like I said before, we need them because, people, the running backs, if they're getting hurt, Mostert, and Mostert actually kind of got pissed off at 49ers Twitter for complaining about Mostert, getting hurt. Injuries are part of the game. Football, come on, So we need running back depth. And Kittle, the most versatile guy on our team. The guy, does all that, blocking. The guy pancakes guys, and the yards after catch. He plays like a wide receiver, So, I mean, we need as much running, the running backs as possible. So, and Jeff Wilson, I mean, he had, in the past has had injuries to Michael Hasty. But yeah, and then Ambry Thomas, 4 career INTs, 3 passes defended by 2 forced fumbles. I mean, I'm just going off the 49ers website here because I don't really follow college ball, but I'm getting more into it. So, he was voted from PFF, which I don't really like PFF. I'm going to be honest. I call it pro football's filth. Because I'm just being honest. They're a little, iffy. PFF's all Big Ten team on defense, defensive second team cornerback. Jalen Moore, guard out of Western Michigan. He has the versatility to play tackle, 7 sacks. We drafted all these old offensive guys, defensive guys. Shoot, we need this for the future. We got to think future, and I think Kyle and John. I trust the front office. They know what they're doing. And of course, 49ers Twitter wants to play, armchair GM. I don't. But I just, like I said, trust the front office. We got to trust them, period.
Oh, I get you. And overall, I think great take on everything there, and I'm really excited. So I know you definitely want to get to the draft. That's why I wanted you to pour out all you possibly could. So awesome stuff there, Gina, as always. And sorry, once again, my apologies for cutting you off. I didn't mean to. I just want to make sure we got introduction into the draft so we can do the segments. But thank you so much for that. So let's take a quick look here at the depth chart. And I just want to take a look at a couple of different players here. So overall, of course, Jimmy G is the man right now, but will Trey Lance step in? Who knows? He's just insurance at the moment. We'll see. But let's take a look. So we have Deebo Samuel, of course, doing his thing. Mostert is still there. Sermon. Now you have Gallman. Pretty dang good, running backs. 3 of them back there. 3-headed beast, if you will. Hopefully they can all play and contribute. Kittle, of course, returning as the monster he is. Kyle Juszczyk, one of the most underrated players, I think, in the NFL. Freaking beastie monster fullback. Then the offensive line.
And I didn't need to forget him.
Absolutely. Great player. Trent Williams, Tomlinson, Mack, Brunskill, McGlinchey. I know some people have their doubts and thoughts on some of these players and everything, but overall, I think it's a pretty solid offensive line. Hopefully just play, block, you know what I mean? Your defensive line, still very strong. Your 2 outside guys as well, Armstead and Bosa on the ends, amazing players there. Ibukam, I remember when he got drafted, freaking beastie monster there. I remember when he actually, I don't know I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was a Ram for a while. I remember seeing him there. But regardless, Tart, Ward, Jason Verrett from the Chargers. This team, also as well as Emmanuel Mosley, Fred Warner, Drake Greenlaw, like I said, the entire team, even the interior guys, DJ Jones, Javon Kinlaw. Overall, I guess this is a very strong team right now, a very strong defense. The offense just needs to get together, and overall, I think they're pretty darn good. So, with that said, Gina, quick and dirty, what do you think? I guess, we went through the depth chart right now, at least the starters. What do you think, what role do you think some guys are going to play, and what do you really think, what are your absolute best thoughts on going into the season? I know we're optimistic. I know, of course, Super Bowl is always the goal. But, if you want to, be crazy and throw something out there and just be a diehard fan, be like, nope, this is our year. And that's completely fine because any year could be anybody's year. Or if you want to be more realistic and, kind of, once again, depending on the realism, some teams really do have that chance. The Niners, I just feel like they have a couple moves away before they're actually back to that caliber again. So realistically, what do you think? What do you think this team can really do this year, and what are you expecting?
Well, I think we're going back to the top defensive caliber what we had in 2019. Fred Warner, my favorite player, he led the team or the league in tackles. most underrated defensive player, middle linebacker. This guy he was just all pro last year for the first time, and first time Pro Bowl, which I know a lot of people don't give too much shit about. Sorry. But he is the bomb. Okay. And we are going to have a killer year. I say, and we've got a new defensive coach, because Saleh went to the Jets and took some of his guys. No more, Michael Floyd. But we are going to kick ass. We're going to be number one in the NFC West. I'm not scared of the Rams. Not scared of Stafford. Not scared of the Seahawks. And not scared of, we beat the Rams every time, we're not scared of them. So I really don't care. We are going to go to the Super Bowl, not scared at all.
Hey, it works for me. Well, there you go. That's from a true diehard, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Gina G. Awesome as always. So, with that said, Gina, one last segment, and this one's always fun. This is where you get to talk some major crap, do your thing, and stick it to them. So, like I said, you have 3 other teams in the division. We just talked about them right now. That was a great segue, a great intro for this next segment. So, yeah, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals. What do you think about them this season? And as a diehard fan, what do you really think of them? Gina, stick it to them.
Seahawks. Russell Wilson. They have no O-line, please. He has never been MVP. Yeah, okay. Next, Rams, I'm sorry, but we'll beat you before. Every time, we're going to beat you again. Cardinals, okay. Next, who do we got left? Rams? What? Yeah. Wait, didn't I say them already? That's how insignificant they are. Who else is next?
Wow.
Saints?
Wow. Saints?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, you cracked me up.
Who's next?
That's that's all of them.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, Drew Brees left? Yeah. Okay. Next. Yeah, we've got this. All right. So everyone sit down, grab your popcorn, and just watch the 49ers run all over the NFC West. Watch them run over the Cowgirls, and watch them run over anyone else in the NFC. Watch them get all the way down. The playoffs will take over the Vikings because Kirk Cousins or whoever will take down even those AFC teams will play once in a while.
Oh my goodness.
We've got Lamar Jackson's number. Just sit and watch.
I'm loving it. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Gina G. Oh, man, that was entertaining. That was awesome. So with that said, we appreciate you so much for today. That was an awesome job, Gina. You really did a great job. And we just want to say, I love it. It was awesome, and definitely a great job in that last segment for sure. So with that said, thank you so very much for being a part of today's show, and thank you so much for for lending your time to us. And with that said, where can all these diehard Niners fans find you, of course, and your new show?
Repping a NorCal Sport. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about the Niners. Repping a NorCal Sports Show. You can find me, your host, Gina G, every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
And that's what it's all about, y'all. So with that said, Gina, where can they find you on Twitter?
At Reppinabay 415. That's REPPINDABAY 415.
There you are. So with that said, Gina, thank you so much for your time here today. We thank you once again for dropping by. We can't wait to have you back on the show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. And as always, God bless.
Thank you.
Take care, Gina.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Once again, Miss Gina G. Can we give her a hand? Great stuff as always. Looking forward to having her many more times here on this show. With that said, that is going to do it for this segment. Next up, we're talking Rams football coming up on day number 1 of NFC Week. NFC Week. NFC West day. This is day number 2, my apologies, here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on iSports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my 2 co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out The Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Wait a Minute Show.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed!
Welcome back, football fans. All right, y'all. Once again, it is day number 3 of NFC week right here on 3 and Outs. 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC week, NFC West day. Once again, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. So we just heard earlier from Brad Buckingham. We have 3 people with the similar names. You already heard that from me saying that earlier today. Of course, we heard from him about the Seahawks. We heard from Miss Gina G. We just heard from her right now about those Niners. And next up, we got a brand new person to IE Sports Radio. He is, of course, like a lot of them, brand new now, but a reoccurring guest time and time again. I really hope that he is, because I talked to him for a few minutes right now before it's recording, and the guy is awesome, so I cannot wait to hear what he has to say about his Rams. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming here for his first of, I hope, many, many times, man. Great dude. Actually, repping his Rams all the way from Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Mr. Adrian. What's going on, brother? How you doing today, man? Oh, but I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm feeling great as well, and definitely excited to have you here today, man. So let's do your dang thing. First things first, let's jump on into those Rams last year. So give me every thought, every emotion, everything you felt last year with those Rams.
Man, so before the season even kicked off, right, panic, because we're getting rid of my guy, Todd Gurley. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge Todd Gurley fan. To this day, I'm still a huge Todd Gurley fan. I understand the injuries and all of that stuff. But, man, I got mad love for my guy. I got like 9 Gurley jerseys still hanging in my closet. So I was heartbroken. And then, just seeing some of the departures that we had and not really addressing our linebacker spot, I'm like, what are we doing? So a lot of panic going into the season. But then you saw the season kick off, man. And, we rattled off some wins. But then more panic setting in where it's like, what is going on with Jared Goff? We just paid this man all this money. Sure, he took us to a Super Bowl. We got some playoff wins, but he is out there just looking absolutely lost. He doesn't look like he can read the defense, or he just looks like he's, deer frozen in headlights. He's late on his throws. He's missing wide open receivers. I mean, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods is doing everything that they can, to make stuff happen for him. And then, we had, like I said, we had questions in the backfield without having Todd Gurley. We got Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Sean McVay trying to do that 1-2 combo. And I don't think that tends to work nowadays. I think you still need that, that 1 through 3 down back. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Akers earned that roll down the stretch, even though, he had the injuries. I expect going into this season, he'll be there as well. Aaron Donald, continues to be, a man among boys for the rest of the league. Jalen Ramsey, I love what I saw from him last season, man. Typically when you're playing out there, your DBs, especially your corners and stuff like that, it's just their job to, make sure that the receivers don't catch the ball. But, man, the absolute punishment I saw him dealing out in those tackles, especially in that game against the Giants where he got to get a little revenge on Golden Tate and, settle a personal score. I mean, there was some violence in that. So I love to see it, man. Season kind of ended disappointing for us. We wanted, just like every other team, we wanted a Super Bowl berth. We had some, a shakeup with John Wolford, Jared Goff injuring his thumb, getting the surgery. Can he play? Can he not play? Wolford coming out, sealing the spot for us in the playoffs against the Cardinals in a game of 2 backups. And then we had to turn around and face Seattle, who we had just lost to 2 weeks prior, in the division. And Jared Goff goes out there and he does enough to win. And we end up beating them. We end up beating the Seahawks for all the crap that they was talking. They were the ones that got to go to Cabo first. So, if I had to end my season without a Lombardi, sending the Seahawks home with an injured Jared Goff that's supposedly, worse than their quarterback, yeah, it's a pretty sweet way to end it.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not even to stick it to him yet. We're not even there yet. Adrian is already weighing in. I'm loving this. So, with that said, man, let's take a look at this free agency. Well, good stuff there, of course, and way to recap last season, man, to relive it. Let's take a look at some of these free agency pickups and departures, man. So, courtesy of overthecap.com, I'm getting my sources from here. You know, you guys had some interesting moves, of course. Jared Goff, he's now headed on over to the Rams. I'm sorry, from the Rams over to the Lions. A pickup, of course, the trade. Matt Stafford coming on over to the Rams from the Lions. You guys kept the guy's a general, in my opinion. He's been around the game for a long time. Left tackle Andrew Whitworth from the Bengals. He's been there for a couple of years now, and you guys kept him. Leonard Floyd, beastie defensive end. You guys kept him. You guys will pick up Deshaun Jackson. I feel like if there was ever a home run in football, man, free agency, you guys definitely got it this year. That is a heck of a pickup, in my opinion. Michael Brockers from LSU. Remember this young man when he first got drafted? Sucks to see him go, but he's on his way to the Lions. Also, Austin Blythe on his way to the Chiefs. Troy Hill on his way to the Browns. Malcolm Brown on his way to the Dolphins. I mean, there were some big departures. Gerald Everett on his way to the Seahawks. I mean, Jack McQuaid. I mean, he's just a long snapper, but who cares, man? That's an important position. To the Cowboys. Blake Bortles. I mean, I know. I mean, just goes on to the Packers, but still, just reading off the list here. But overall, man, there was some major departures. Morgan Fox to the Panthers, Derek Rivers to the Texans, John Johnson to the Browns. Then you have some, once again, some more pickups. Kareem Orr, corner from the Titans coming on over. I thought that was pretty cool. You guys will keep Johnny Munt. You guys will keep Coleman Shelton, Darius Williams. Let's see here, Traven Howard, Austin McGinnis. Regardless, I just feel like, there were some major departures. But man, some of these, like Samson Ibaka, until this day, I will not forget when you guys played the Chiefs. I think it was like 2 years ago, Adrian, and it was like that crazy double overtime game. Like it was like ended like on a freaking walk off. I think like double overtime when you guys were wearing ketchup versus mustard that game with the color rush jerseys in the Coliseum.
Remember that game was actually supposed to be played in Mexico City, but the field conditions in Mexico City were so terrible they had to move it and play it in LA.
Exactly, and my goodness, man, I remember seeing Ibaka actually get a strip sack and run that sucker back in, if I'm not mistaken. But I know he was a part of one of those plays. But man, seeing him go sucks. But overall, man, there's so many moves around here, and a lot of players is going elsewhere. Tell us, man, what are your biggest, in your opinion, departures, and what some of your biggest signings from this year?
One of the biggest departures that we had this year is definitely going to be John Johnson III. He's going to be missed on that defense, man. Rams have kind of run a unique defensive scheme in terms of who's bringing in the play, who's calling it for the defense. Traditionally, you see that being done from the linebacker spot. Rams are kind of pioneering it being done from the safety position with John Johnson III, being our play caller for defense, being a real leader on that team. Also, Saints fans may recognize him from the interception that Drew Brees threw in overtime that gave us a chance to go to the Super Bowl to go play the Patriots. So, he's been a part of those big moments and just a lot of the discipline. And if you watched him last season, man, he just the way he sees the field, the way that he's in on every play, he's quick to the ball, even whether he's picking it off or, he's hitting a receiver coming across the middle. John Johnson III, I think we're going to miss him. I got a lot of faith in our young guys that we drafted, Jordan Fuller a year ago, Terrell Burgess, he was starting to come on before he messed his ankle up. So I think they'll be able to fill in for him well, but it's kind of hard to take away from that experience. So that's definitely going to be missed. Brockers, going to be missed, man. Just a good glue guy, good locker room guy, him and Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, I'm pretty sure if you ever had a chance to ask him, he'll tell you that's the homie, that's his friend. I don't think anybody was more pissed off about Brockers leaving than Aaron Donald. And if you want to keep anybody on the Rams happy, Aaron Donald's the guy that you want to keep happy.
Yeah.
So, let's just hope that things are still good. I believe AD is a professional, and I seen him working even on his birthday. I seen the man working out in Pittsburgh, getting it in, getting ready for hopefully fourth defensive player of the year performance coming this season. In terms of the acquisitions, man, Matt Stafford, Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's hyped about it. And I think for good reason, man. I think if you've ever watched Matthew Stafford play, granted, it's the Detroit Lions. It's not super exciting football, and it hasn't been since Megatron left. But you got to respect what the man is putting on tape. I mean, he's got over 45,000 yards passing. I think he's, over 200 passing touchdowns. He's good with his eyes. He doesn't have the mobility that he had when he came into the league originally, but he is still shifty enough to move around in the pocket. And he's got that big arm, and, he's seen plenty of defenses. And I think, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, that's an overrated pickup. He hasn't won in the playoffs. Well, one of those playoff games is debatable. If you want to argue with the Zebras on that, I think maybe one of those games was stolen from him. But as we know, football, there's two sides of that, man. And he can't go out there and play defense, too. And some of those defenses in Detroit have been absolutely atrocious. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think he's going to be in a better spot with the guys that we got on our roster, especially with us being able to retain Darius Williams for another year, who had a breakout season. Russell Wilson, I believe, is still having nightmares of that pick six to the house. And then, Jalen Ramsey, we already talked about him, just an absolute, brute force when it comes to cornerback. He's number one cornerback in the league. You can go argue with a wall. That's just what it is. Like I said, Aaron Donald is going to do what he does and going to eat up, 3 or 4 offensive linemen and allow the rest of these guys, our rookie Bobby Brown at third. He's going to allow Leonard Floyd to get back there and get some of those. And who's the guy that I'm super excited about? Nobody's really talking about him, but it's Chris Garrett. He was like our 6th-round draft pick, man, and he's going to be playing outside linebacker. And I don't think he's going to be starting for us, but I do think he's going to end up playing some meaningful snaps. And I just like what I've seen so far from, the things that they have released at camp. He just seems eager to learn and really quick get off. And, for the division that he played in, I think he's Division II school. Man, he was a sack monster. So I'm really excited to see him out there.
Absolutely, man. I'm loving it. I really think that you guys have a solid base. So let's go ahead and get into that draft, man. I mean, I love it. I love the, good stuff there. No first round for you guys, but still, I mean, Tattoo Atwell, wide receiver out of Louisville, very good pickup there. I feel like good shifty receiver. Ernest Jones, linebacker out of South Carolina, SEC football right there. Bobby Brown, the third, as you mentioned him already, defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, Gig'em, very good player there. Robert Rochelle, out of Central Arkansas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's a D1 AA. That's actually FCS. So big ups to him for making it. Corner out of there. So Jacob Harris, tight end out of UCF. Ernest Brown, the fourth, defensive lineman out of Northwestern, Jake Funk, Robert, running back out of Maryland, and a couple of 7th-round guys. Ben Swarnek, I don't butcher his name there, but Notre Dame, of course, Ian Book was thrown to him, wide receiver, and Chris Garrett, as you mentioned him already, outside linebacker out of Concordia St. Paul. I'm pretty sure it's Division II. Might even be D3, but regardless, man, amazing stuff there. Yeah, D2, yeah, Garrett. So I'm reading here off of ESPN.com. Garrett set the Division II record for career forced fumbles with 15. How you like that stat there, Adrian?
Like I said before, man, I love it. He's one of these guys that I don't expect him to start right now just because we already know that the leap from college to the NFL is a big step, and even more so for those kids coming from Division II football to the NFL. But I do expect him to play a role. I do expect him to show out in preseason and earn those snaps. And like I said, I think we're going to see him cause a few forced fumbles, Lord willing, this season.
I can see that. So, I mean, really, who knows? We may see him get in sooner than we think. Who knows? But I can't wait to see what this guy can do in training camp. I mean, training camp's coming up this week. It might have started. I know this is Sunday. We're recording this on the 18th, but I think training camp started on Wednesday. So if this is the case, and it is today, when the show is being aired on Wednesday, or maybe the day after. I think they're all starting the same day, and in a couple other teams the day after and everything. But regardless, I can't wait to see what this guy does, man. So really, really good stuff there, and there we have it. So with that said, Adrian, let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit, man, because there has been taking a look here at some of these roles for some of these players, man. I really like this team right now. The Rams are a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion. There's a lot of talent. Stafford, of course, we're waiting. We're going to see. Is he really that guy? Why does he really fit in the system better than he did in Detroit? What's he going to do? Cam Akers, I like it. I mean, I know he's not girly, but the guy can still run the ball well. And let's see here. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Deshaun Jackson now added to that. That is amazing. Tyler Higbee is a very underrated tight end. A very, pretty solid offensive line, of course, all led by Andrew Whitworth, a left tackle. The general there, as I said earlier, you guys run that 34 guessing game defense, as I always say, because you never know where that blitz is coming from. But big stuff here. Aaron Donald, of course, playing on end. I mean, really very strong defense, in my opinion. Leonard Floyd, Ramsey, of course, Rapp, Fuller, Williams, very good secondary. The linebacker's pretty solid in my opinion. Hollins, Young, Kaiser, as I said already, Floyd, and those big three guys in the middle, man. Those three defensive linemen, Aaron Donald, Sean Robinson, Sebastian Joseph Davis. A very solid team, in my opinion. I think they put together a good, solid team. Is it annoying that Brockers is not there no more? I feel you too, because as a fellow defensive lineman, this team is just. You need those big boys, and Brockers was just amazing. That's no shade to Joseph Day or Robinson, but man, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I can't help it. It's just the way it is right now with Brockers. But regardless, tell us about what roles you think certain guys are gonna play in this season. Tell us, who's who, and what do you expect from individual players, and then of course, let us know what do you expect from the team as a whole going into the season.
First things first, we're going to start with my favorite position on the field, which is the running back. Cam Akers is going to be the bell cow for the Los Angeles Rams. I think he's earned it, man. He's got great field vision. He runs the ball with a toughness, and you started to see it at the end of the season. He started running with some confidence. Green Bay, I cannot remember who he put in the dirt, but, man, it looked ugly. I mean, it looked like Josh Norman getting stiff-armed by Derrick Henry ugly. But I think he's definitely earned it, even with, questions around the offensive line and what we've got going on over there. I think we will still have a solid offensive line, definitely better than any offensive line that he ran behind at Florida State. The biggest thing is, keeping him healthy. Darrell Henderson is going to be there as well to help stretch the field and, do that change of pace back. But once again, health is going to be the biggest thing for him. I think we're going to see McVay continue to run a lot more of that 12 personnel, where we do have Higbee out there, and before it was Gerald Everett, but I think this year, surprise, everybody is saying it's going to be Johnny Munt, and I do expect Johnny Munt to be out there for a lot of the formations because he is a more experienced tight end, and he is one that specializes in run blocking, which if you don't know anything about Sean McVay's schemes, his receivers and his tight ends block, and if you can't block, you don't play. But that being said, I think the guy that ends up replacing Gerald Everett ultimately is going to be Jacob Harris out of UCF, making the transition from wide receiver to tight end. 6'5", ran, I want to say like a 4.38, something like that at the combine. They're saying that he could be George Kittle, Travis Kelce. I'm not ready to buy into that yet, but he has the measurables for it. He looks exciting, and if nothing else, with that size and speed on the field, he's going to make people respect him. Love Deshaun Jackson. I'm hoping that if this is D-Jax's final season in the league, I'm hoping it's a healthy one. I would love to see, Stafford to Deshaun Jackson just bombs down the field all day. Nothing like being able to stretch the field, and I think that's what we saw with the Tutu Atwell acquisition too. We've got a guy that we can really stretch the field, that secondary, opposing secondaries are really going to have to respect. You're not going to be able to play down in a tight box. You're going to have to open some stuff up and, let Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods kind of work you over the middle and kind of show us what you're willing to give. In terms of the defense, Robert Rochelle. I don't think we talk enough about him. Us losing Troy Hill to the Browns, I think Robert Rochelle, expect to see him play a little bit in that nickel spot. This is a kid coming out of Central Arkansas that says he models his game after Jalen Ramsey. Lucky him, he got drafted to the team with Jalen Ramsey. So who better to learn how to be Jalen Ramsey than from Jalen Ramsey? I like him. He plays the game smart, plays it with a lot of violence, and I think especially at the in our linebacker position, man, we have for our middle linebackers, you saw a lot of Micah Kaiser in there last year. I think this year you're gonna see a lot of him as well. Hopefully he'll be able to be healthy. What's my man's name? Troy Reader. He'll come back as well too. And then Traven Howard? I think he will actually end up getting a start, maybe even over Troy Reader. He was injured last year, and as much respect to Reader, but sometimes, man, I'm watching him go left to right, and it looks like he's running in cement. I think Howard's going to give us a little bit of burst there.
I'm loving it, man. Great stuff, man. Like I said, you definitely know your team. Every fan here can definitely see that. So with that said, man, wonderful job. And I really felt great analysis there on those Rams. So with that said, Adrian, let us know, man. This is the fun part. You just heard a little bit ago. Of course, we know this is recording. So we're recording, one after another for different days. And right now, Adrian got to hear the ending part of Dontarius from Monday's show, actually, right now. And he got to hear, stick it to him. So he pretty much gets it. I told him a little bit about it as well. And I let him know that the other teams, are pretty much not going to be saying the kindest things or have already not said the kindest things about his team. So with that said, man, I got to introduce him to this segment that we've been doing the last couple of years. It's so much fun, man. Because, hey, it's time to get hyped up for the season. A little bit of trash talking, a little bit of fun, man. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's all love. Football's family, as Meg Renee says in our PR department. And it's true. It brings us together. But when we're on the field, man, there ain't no love. So when it comes down to it, we'll see. It is what it is. But, that's what it is. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. So, Adrian, I know there's 3 other teams in this division that you're not the fondest of. Let us know what you think they're going to do this season. And then, of course, as a true diehard fan, let us know what you really feel about them. You could be kind and respectful, or you could be mean and nasty, or a mixture of both, however you want to do it. But with that said, Adrian, you know the drill, brother. Stick it to him.
Well, let's start with Seattle Seahawks, man. Here's the thing. As much as I don't like them, as long as they got Russell Wilson under center, you got to respect the magic that man makes on the field. Mm-hmm. Ever since McVay's got there, it seems like we have their number for the majority of those meetings. We split it last season, and then ultimately sent them packing, for early vacation. I expect us to do the same this year, not splitting though. I expect us to sweep them. I want to give some respect to the 49ers, and it's making my skin crawl just saying that. But I got to give props where props is due, man. They have our number. Kyle Shanahan seems to know, what it is that McVay wants to do. Will a change at quarterback help that? We'll find out. They could potentially be having a change at quarterback too, but you got to respect what they're doing over there. Arizona Cardinals, man. Look, I know this is going to offend some Cardinals people, but we're not looking at y'all. We're not looking for you. We don't care that y'all signed A.J. Green. A.J. Green has been done long before A.J. Green knew that it was time for him to retire. We all knew that it was time for him to retire. I love J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt not the same. He is not prime-time Houston, Texas J.J. Watt. We're not scared of him either. Like I said, he can bring number 99 out of retirement all he wants. We got the real 99 over here in L.A. Nobody's checking for y'all, okay? Kyler Murray, teach him to actually throw the ball instead of run around. We'll be all right. So here's how it's going to go. Rams going to win the division. Second place going to be the Seahawks. Third place going to be the 49ers. Last place in the basement, once again, it is going to be the Arizona Cardinals, to the point where they are also going to miss the playoffs. I want to kind of keep it respectful, but at the same time, you know what it is forget everybody else. It's Rams till I die. With respect to my Bucks fan, what's the gentleman name that was just on?
Dontarius,
with respect to him and his Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I heard him say that they looking for the undefeated season and that he really thinks that they're going to run it back. No, sir. I'm going to say it right now. Rams for the Super Bowl. I know everybody wants to say that it's their team, but look, we played y'all last year. The refs tried to help y'all, and he still couldn't get past us last year, and we had Jared Goff. Now I got a quarterback that can read defense. I got a quarterback that's shifty that can throw the ball. We still got what I think is going to be the best defense in the NFL. So NFC West, the rest of the divisions, all of y'all look out. It's Rams Super Bowl. We look forward to hoisting the Lombardi in SoFi this year, replicating what the Bucks did in their home stadium a year ago. This year is Rams.
Mr. Adrian, the applause button has been hit, good sir. Oh my gosh, man, I'm loving it. Respectful yet fiery. I'm loving it. I can't wait to have you on the actual, this is the actual show, but I can't wait to have you on the Primetime Face-Off show and just have you, in and around IE Sports Radio, man. You definitely class act guy, and I'm so glad I was able to have you on the show today, man. So thank you so much for all that. And at the end of the day, man, this is the real deal right here at the end, because we want everybody to know where to find you and where to show you some love, man. Some Rams fans, diehard Rams fans listening to you right now, man. So let them know where they can find you on Twitter. If you do anything else, man, you blog, anything, literally podcast, whatever you do that you would love to share to let people know and find you and everything, man. Let them know.
Hey, you guys can find me on Twitter. Hopefully this year I won't be cussing as much on there because Derek Goff won't be throwing interceptions, and it'll be Matt Stafford touchdowns. But you can find me on Twitter at ACDAGDB. That's AC to GDB. You can also find me on podcast, The Touchdown with Doug Smith. It's a new podcast. It's up and coming. I think we just hit 1,000 subscribers, man. We're just really trying to build this thing. Happy to be on the journey with my guy. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, man, I'm loving it, brother. Hey, thank you so much for being here today, man. Thank you. And looking forward to having you back on the show many more times. But take care, man. God bless you and your family. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. We look forward to having you back very soon.
Hey, man, appreciate it. That's love, Larry.
Always, man. Take care, man. Thank you. All righty, y'all. That's going to do it for this segment, man. Once again, big ups to Adrian, man. Awesome stuff, man. Adrian Campbell, great guy. And, well, that's going to do it for the Rams. We have one more team coming up. And, of course, as y'all know, it's the Cardinals coming up next to finish off NFC West today. And we're just keeping rolling here on 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. My goodness, I had a brain fart right now. But so much going on. But with that said, y'all, that is going to do it. We're going to come right on back here with our next guest, ready to talk some Cardinals football. Once again, you're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' to NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal Sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal Sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go. We have made it through 3 teams in the NFC West here today, and we are now off to that final team, the Arizona Cardinals. And this, of course, being recorded, the rest of the shows were recorded over the weekend. This interview recorded on Monday, on right after the NFC South show, as a matter of fact, on Monday, July 19th. Because we just had to have our Cardinals fan here on IE Sports Radio repping her Cardinals. No one does it better than her. She is absolutely a diehard, and it's just great having her on this segment every year to talk about her team. And, sometimes she actually, trust me, she's very hard on the team always, which is a great thing. But I'll tell you what. She loves her team very much, and it's great to hear her say lots of good positive things, give the negatives, and then, of course, throughout the season, she definitely has her ups and downs like we all do, but it's awesome to see, the optimism and just, look and see the direction that this particular team is going. And every year it seems like she's getting more optimistic. And though I know last year wasn't the greatest year for this team, there's still lots of reason to be optimistic. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back for her umpteenth time here on IE Sports Radio. Well, on 3 and Out, that is, here on IE Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming die-hard, absolute die-hard Arizona Cardinals fan. So glad to have her here. And she's a member of our PR department as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Winstead. How's it going, Angela?
Hey, Larry. It's going great. It's always a blast being on 3 and Out with you and talking Cardinals, not just Cardinals, but football and, our forever going group chat with IE Sports, and it's just a blast. I love it.
Well, we love having you, and we're very excited to have you here today. So you're the final interview of the NFC Week. Pretty cool. So we already got all the other shows booked up and good to go. And, well, here you are now talking Cardinals. So let's go ahead and get on into to last season. So last season, the Arizona Cardinals, of course, not the best season, but I'm sure there were some good positive parts in there. Go ahead. Give us every emotion from last season from start to finish.
Last season was one of those seasons where it was like we had just picked up DeAndre Hopkins. Like everyone was so hyped. Granted, we all know COVID just killed everything and every hope in everyone's mind. But we had DeAndre Hopkins. We had some hope coming in. And it was one of those, like, we are losing to teams that we shouldn't be losing to. We are struggling here. We're struggling there. Kyler was doing great, and then he gets injured, and it was almost one of those where you thought you saw the finish line, but you fall 3 inches short, and it just doesn't happen. Last year was definitely one of those where I know personally as a Cardinals fan, I probably could speak for other fans saying we really thought that we had a team that could produce, that could go that extra distance. Chandler Jones gets injured preseason or early on in the season. We don't have him. We are just, what are we going to do? And like I said, you lose against games that you don't expect to lose to. And, we're the Hail Murray, as they call it, against Buffalo that saved the day, I feel like. It was a roller coaster of a season, a much
exaggerated roller coaster of a season. And I'm just hoping that 2020 is behind us and we can move on to a 2021 season and not have any of that.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you guys, man, seeing DeAndre Hopkins go over there and now seeing J.J. Watt go over there.
Oh, I am so excited for J.J. Watt. He's such a phenomenal player, not just on the field, but off the field and everything that he does. And I really hope that, with him coming over and his philanthropy and his off the field, that does not cause Larry to say, well, there's someone else there. I'm done for. Of course, no one knows what good old Larry Fitzgerald's doing, but that's keeping everybody on pins and needles right now during the off season as well.
Well, I could definitely say I can see that because that's a painful thing to know that one of your best, if not the absolute best franchise player ever in your guys' history, as well as one of the best receivers in the game right now, if not one of the best of the absolute era that he's played in, maybe calling it a career soon. And I know he's been dancing with that idea maybe over the last couple of seasons. I don't want to say I know that, but you kind of feel that that's a possibility. But my goodness, Angela, I mean, we don't have that guy. I mean, I guess Derek Carr. You know what I mean? Like the guy who's been around for like a while, like with my Raiders. But what I'm saying is when you have somebody that good, when you have somebody that found the fountain of youth, it seems that he just keeps producing, he just keeps on. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He has voiced how much he loves playing for the Cardinals, how much he loves being there, how much of a Cardinal he is, and just, he wants to retire there. Then you just look at how good of a person he is, and just what a wonderful man, what a wonderful guy he really is, how much he's supportive of all the other teams in the area. I remember seeing him one time at a Diamondbacks baseball game, I forgot, it must have been a playoff game. I think it might have been like the one game wild card a couple years back, or I forgot when, but seeing him in the stands, like they showed that he was there. I mean, just showing what a great person he is. When you have that guy on your team, yeah, it's going to sting a little bit when he finally calls it a career. I'm sure, right, Angela?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's the one thing that, I one of the many reasons why I love Larry is, yes, he is dedicated to football. I mean, that is his career, that's his passion. That was his living. That is his living. But now, I mean, he's part owner of the Suns. You see him, he's at the Arizona Coyote hockey games. He's with the Diamondbacks at a game. He's even supporting, the USL Phoenix Rising games. And it's one of those where this guy has done so much for the Cardinals as a team, as an organization, but he's also given so much to the community, but not just the Arizona community. I mean, he's gone back to Minnesota where he's from and given back to Minnesota. And I will never forget, I was scrolling through Twitter or Instagram one day, and lo and behold, there's Larry Fitzgerald and Luke Kuechly sitting courtside at a Charlotte Hornets game. Were they playing Phoenix? Absolutely not. But he was there, and it was the guy. Just he has such a good heart and a good passion about everything he does that you can't help but not love him. I mean, if you know nothing about football, you hear about what he does off the field, and it's like, wow, this guy's a great guy.
Absolutely. And he definitely seems, I mean, like I say, he's incredible. So knowing that, maybe it is possibly, and I didn't know he was from Minnesota, that's pretty cool. But yeah, and of course he does plenty for his community, I'm sure, giving back to the community. I mean, he's at, where he's at, amazing point of his career. And if and when he does call it a career, um, this season. I mean, I know it's not going to be the easiest thing, but hey, who knows? But regardless, if and when he does call his career, or when he does call it his career one day, I know he'll be greatly missed in the field. But definitely everybody will always respect and love what he has done, for sure. Not just in Arizona, and not just Arizona fans, but I'm hoping, I know that a lot of NFL fans, even like myself, it's not a Cardinal fan, will always love and appreciate what he's done on the field and off the field as well. So with that said, Angela, I know that's got to be a big, scary thing right now going on, knowing, is he going to come out and retire any given day? I mean, but with that said, let's take a quick look here and look at your guys' offseason. So speaking of acquisitions and things like that, the Cardinals, man, I mean, the big one to to get into is definitely going to be J.J. Watt. I mean, that was one of the absolute biggest signings, not just for the Cardinals, but in the entire offseason for the NFL. I mean, taking a look here at overthecap.com, there's a lot of big pickups and some departures for sure. But man, just seeing J.J. Watt sign with the Cardinals is, I mean, it's monumental. This guy is literally, he's just one of the biggest, baddest guys in the NFL. Really awesome guy as well. Another guy who is a community man and who's done a lot. Remember, he did a lot for the Hurricane a couple years ago in Texas, but raised a lot of money, or helped raise a lot of money. But this guy is awesome, and what he's going to bring to Arizona is going to be great. Some people can say, oh, he's washed up, or oh, he's in the back half of his career, whatever you want to call it. The guy's still a freaking machine, and he's so long. He's a big guy. He plays the defensive end spot so well, and I know he's just going to do really well. I know he's going to keep doing great things. So, with that said, my goodness, what you guys have done. AJ Green, he's another guy who hasn't necessarily, isn't the youngest guy out there, but guess what? The Cardinals are going to bring him aboard. J.J. Watt, as we mentioned. Malcolm Butler coming on over from the Titans. Okay, we're cooking with gas here. I like it. Sean Williams, safety from the Bengals, heading on over now to play. You guys have picked up some more names. Xavier Williams, defensive line, also from the Bengals, coming over. Ross Travis, tight end from the Jets, coming on over. So, I mean, Antoine Wesley, wide receiver from the Cardinals, from the Ravens, coming on over. So, some big-time pickups. Not going to get into all of them. Also, James Conner, running back from the Steelers, he's got some tread on those tires for sure. So, then there were some big departures, of course, as you know. I mean, I know some of these were probably cap-related, but we have some departures for sure. Patrick Peterson, that's a stake in the heart. That one hurts because he's such a great freaking player, and he's done a lot there in Arizona. Yeah. But him going over to the Vikings. We have also, you guys got Rodney Hudson from the Raiders. That's right, from our center from the Raiders going over there. So that was pretty cool. But Kenyon Drake is coming on over to the Raiders from the Cardinals. Devondre Campbell, linebackers, going over to the Packers. You guys are going to have, let's see here, Hassan Reddick, of course, heading over to the Panthers. Angelo Blackson, defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, heading over to the Bears. I guess, a few more players. Kevin Peterson's corner going over to the Titans, and Dan Arnold going over to the Panthers, and Trent Sherfield going over to the Niners. So lots of different things. So I'm not going to name everybody, and I'm just kind of basically doing that right now. But with that said, Angelo, the floor is yours. I'll talk about some of the biggest pickups and the biggest departures in Arizona this year, and why.
Yeah, so I think, you hit the nail right on the head. Biggest, we kind of covered that a little bit. The biggest pickup was definitely J.J. Watt. Arizona has had those moments where we're great, but we fall off the ladder or we run out of gas midway through the season. I think J.J. Watt combined with Chandler Jones, holy help offensive linemen. Those two guys on defense, I am going to be so excited to watch. I don't even know how else to say that. I'm going to be excited to watch the two of them. Malcolm Butler in there combined. Get more weapons for Kyler. I mean, having AJ Green come over, it was like, that was one of those where I have mixed emotions about, though, because I'm like, okay, we're getting Kyler weapons, but we still have Christian Kirk, who is towards the end of his contract. I mean, he's doing more special teams, but he's also that receiver. And then we've got Larry, we've got DeAndre. It's like, okay, are we picking up another wide receiver because we know that Larry's not coming back and we don't want to say anything? But, you know, obviously that wasn't the case. If it is, it is. But so far that hasn't been the case. But I just think that wide receiver threat is going to be so, it's going to be great. I'm really excited about James Conner. I think, honestly, J.J. Watt, James Conner are the two that I'm most excited about, and then Malcolm Butler. I know, call me crazy, but we haven't had a strong, great running back in years. I mean, David Johnson was so good his first couple years, and then after his injuries, it's like he could not stay healthy for us. Granted, he's doing his thing in Houston. Congratulations. You know, it happens. Mm-hmm. But we have needed a strong running back. James Conner still has a lot left in that tank. I mean, Kyler can't be the one that's always running. He needs help. So picking up James Conner, I think, was one of the smartest things that we have done. When it comes to letting the guys go, like, I get it. It's a business, you know. Was I upset that Patrick Peterson left? Oh, absolutely. He's another one that does great for his community. He's a good guy on the field, off the field. Past couple of years, has he frustrated myself and many of the Bird Gang? Absolutely. It's almost like it used to be it was him. He would be stuck with the best receiver, and he would shut him down every single game. He would be picking off plays. He would be thrown into special teams. He was thrown into the offense. And, you know, we had a wildcat going on. It's almost like he has struggled since he was diagnosed with, I don't want to call it wrong, but he was diagnosed with some health problem. And he got healthier, but it's almost like ever since that fuel hasn't been there for us. Same thing with David Johnson a couple years ago, last year or whatever, when he just, ever since he got injured, he wasn't staying healthy for us. And so it's always tough to watch those kinds go, those great people go, but, you know, it's a business. It's hard. Hassan Reddick, honestly, that was a stinger. Mm-hmm. That was a stinger. He had finally started picking up and doing great towards the end of the year, and the fact that we didn't sign him, I'm going to be honest. I might be one of the only Cardinals fans that will say this, but I'm going to be honest. I was excited to see Chandler Jones healthy, J.J. Watt, and Hassan Reddick together. And that fifth year, they just had to, you know, couldn't do it. His contract was up and wouldn't resign. And again, it's a business. That's how it is. And Hassan's from North Carolina, so he's going back to, you know, his hometown type thing. But it's still hard. It's never easy losing good guys. And guys that you can see so much potential in, and you're excited for them with the organization. And then you don't get to see them reach that potential with the organization. So.
No, that's definitely a toughie, and I can totally see that, Angela. So, let's take a look here at the draft. You guys had some pretty good draft picks. Zaven Collins, inside linebacker from Tulsa. You guys haven't had a strong. Sam Acho, since him. Really, or Weatherspoon. I don't know if Weatherspoon was there. Was it Weatherspoon there? But regardless,
Sean, he was there for one season.
Yeah, I know Suggs was there momentarily, but really, it's just. Guys, really, I can't think back to the last time there was a super crazy hardcore. Can you really think back to when you guys had that franchise linebacker?
The only one that would come to my mind would be Sam Acho. He was. I never thought he was another one. You would have never thought that he would be gone, but and it's a business. You can't. If we could hold on to every player, then they couldn't succeed either. So,
absolutely, yeah. Who knows? Maybe Zaven Collins could be that guy that steps in. You guys got him 16th overall from Tulsa, very good linebacker. Then you guys pick up Rondell Moore. Out of Purdue. The man is 5'7", 180 pounds, but I don't care. The guy is fast as lightning. He can make some things happen. Marco Wilson, corner out of Florida. Pretty good corner there for SEC defense. Victor Demucci, I don't want to butcher his name either, but outside linebacker from Duke. So, I'm not going to go through everybody. But Tay Gowen from corner from UCF, and there's actually just a couple more guys, so I'll just read them off. James Wiggins, safety out of Cincinnati, and Michael Minute, offensive lineman out of Penn State. How do you feel about this draft? What grade would you give them, and why?
I'd probably give them, I would say a B. I would say, we picked up a lot of great guys. Our defense is really, it's been hit or miss so much lately that we need some good defensive players. I definitely think we grabbed some there with, especially with Zane. I'm not so sure what's going through Steve Keim's head and what's going through Michael Bidwill's head, but let me just tell you, as being a got to get on my little tangent here. As being an ECU Pirate and us over here drafting all these AAC players who I've watched play before in person, who have pummeled my boys, it drives me nuts. But on the other hand, I know how they play. I've seen them play. They make it exciting to play. And if some of these guys, Tulsa and Cincinnati and UCF, getting to see those guys make it into the NFL and getting, drafted, that's something special for them. It's, the AAC, we're Power 6, we're not anything big, but UCF's probably the best team in the entire conference. We're not going to get into that, but we're not, the big Pac-12 schools, the SEC schools that normally draw those draft players. So seeing those guys get drafted, even if they are for the Cardinals, is amazing. It's just great. I'm excited about our draft class. Like I said, we got a lot of good defensive players there, and I just can't wait to get into mini camps, not mini camps, but get into camps and get things going. And, once they're able to actually be with a team and practice and pads and all that, and see how preseason goes, things like that. So, it's exciting. I definitely think we did well. Is there some people that we got that is like, yeah, but overall, I would give us the B. I think we did pretty good on it.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely think you guys are pretty good. And overall, there were some big time players I thought you guys added. And it's true, actually. When it comes down to it, we need to see some more improvement from this defense. And I feel like you guys lost some key pieces, but you also gained some key pieces. So, I guess that's just the ever going balance that you're trying to find. And guess what? When you find the right balance, you win Super Bowls. So I guess that's how it goes. But let's take a look here at this depth chart now, because I want to take a look at what you see about this team going forward into this season. I want to know. So let's take a quick look here at these Cardinals and see. So first things first. I looked at the wrong thing. I looked at draft picks. Okay, so depth chart. When it comes down to it, right now, the Cardinals, this is courtesy of ESPN.com, by the way, Kyler Murray, he's the guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Colt McCoy sitting behind him. Good backup. But right now, Kyler Murray's the guy. We know he's got speed. He's got everything you need. Very good athlete. And, just give him an offensive line. My goodness. Well, DJ Humphries, beast. Justin Pugh, beast. Rodney Hudson, beast. I'm not too sure. I don't know too much about Murray and Beecham, but I do know that entire left side and that middle and the center for sure, because Rodney Hudson was a Raider. I think that
Calvin Beecham's he's a beast. I mean, keep him healthy. We finally have an O-line. I will say that.
It's nice. I see that. And DeAndre Hopkins.
Keep him healthy is all I got to say. Keep him healthy. We got an O-line the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green. I don't see Larry Fitzgerald on here, but, if he decides to call it or if he's going to play another season, all I'm saying is if he does play this year, this is awesome. You guys, this looks good. Like, on paper, this looks good, okay? Then you look at the defense. You see J.J. Watt, Rashard Lawrence, and freaking Chandler Jones. Okay, Zach Allen, of course, there, but Chandler Jones, I mean, my gosh. Remember what Chandler Jones did in New England? I mean, this guy is a great athlete. Now you add in Zaven Collins. You have Isaiah Simmons. Let's not forget about Isaiah Simmons. Everyone seems to be forgetting about him. I mean...
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons, he's going to beast this year. I mean, he started picking up the end of last year, and it was just like, where has this guy been, and why is he on the bench? Hello, can we, put him in sooner? Hi, hello, defense coordinator, can we get him started? He gets in, and it's like, the heck, this is what we needed.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I completely agree. And Angela, look at this. I mean, my goodness. Isaiah Simmons coming out of Clemson as being a beast. Buda Baker is still there. I love it. I mean,
hey. We got our Buda. That's all that matters.
Hey, the guy, I'm telling you, I still remember seeing Buda Baker playing for Washington a couple of years back, playing in the Pac-12. I mean, this guy is a good athlete. I'm so excited to see him there still and playing. Well, I didn't even know he was still there, but Byron Murphy, Jalen Thompson, Malcolm Butler. No, not Malcolm Butler's there. I'm telling you, on paper, I hadn't even seen the depth chart until right now. I'm just going to put this out there. Oh, go ahead.
On paper, we look like can I just walk over to Raymond James and grab that trophy right now? Because on paper, that's almost what it looks like. Okay? On paper, that is what it looks like. I'm not going to jinx it, but on paper, let me just go get Vince Lombardi's trophy real quick and just... keep it safe.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you, it's true. Of course, I forgot what old video game that was I used to have. I don't know what it was, but it was Madden or NCAA. But I always say, no, on paper. But then again, we all know games aren't won on paper. Okay, we know that. But,
right.
But still, I'm just saying this team right now is looking great. Now, if they can just stay healthy, my goodness, I really do think, the Seahawks... We know they're a good team, okay? And with Russ up there doing his thing, he's solid. The Rams, they've done some things now there. Will they be as potent as they've been the last couple of years? Well, that's yet to see. And then the Niners, they always seem to be this team that's always, in and around the top spot. They're usually, if they are at the bottom, it's usually not for long. So, I mean, to compete with these teams, it does take a lot. But my goodness, I mean, a couple years ago, we were looking at this. I actually was one to say that the NFC West was like the new powerhouse division of the NFL about maybe 5 years ago, like within the last 10 years. I said it sometime between there because there was a lot of great talent. But now, I mean, I don't know. I mean, things have kind of, weighed out a little bit. Regardless, Angela, tell us your thoughts on these players. Tell us your thoughts on some players that you think, or some roles you think these players are going to play for this team this year. And of course, what are you expecting? What are you thinking moving forward with? I mean, if you already said, let me go grab Lombardi for the Lombardi Trophy from Raymond James Stadium. But is that really what you're thinking? What are you thinking right now for this team moving forward into this year?
I think that this team this year, especially the players coming back, the heart and the grit that they have, the grind that's coming, the fact that we can have fans in the stands, that people like me game one, I'm in Nashville. Just going to let everyone know, I will be in Nashville game one. Game 3 is a 3-hour drive from my house to Jacksonville, Florida. I may or may not be there. Let's just say the fact that we can now have fans in the stands at full capacity and yell and scream, and that is what, players have always said that. Yeah, the crowd noise that was piped in last year was great, but the minute fans were allowed in the stands made it that much better. So I am excited. I am thrilled. I know that, come this season, and I'm calling it a fresh slate. Last year we're going to chalk it up to being 2020 and everything that 2020 came with. And this year's a new season, new beginnings, you name it, new players, new atmosphere of fun. I'm pumped. I mean, ever since the draft, I have been pumped for football because it's like we're watching fans in the stands at the draft. It's just like football's back. We're getting there. We are 55 days away, guys. 55 days away. Yes, I'm counting, okay? Don't judge. Do not judge me. But yes, I'm excited. I'm excied for the fans to see J.J. Watt. I'm excited for, him to come out and pumping the crowd up. I'm excited for some Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins plays again, some Hail Marys. I'm excited for, some long James Conner run. I'm excited that we have an offensive line now that is an actual offensive line and not the kindergarten prep team that we've been playing with.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you right now, I really think you guys are going to do well. I mean, really, I'm excited. I wasn't even so high on the Cardinals until I talked to you right now, and you got me pumped up. But I'm looking at the depth chart. I looked at it right now, and I mean, I see a lot now. This is different. I may have a different perspective now of this entire division. Man, I got to reevaluate. But with that said, Angela, it has been fun. But we have one last segment that I know you know all too well. We've done the last couple of years, and this one, I'll tell you, you're the final team, of course, to go of NFC week, and, well, of course, of the NFC West. And we had Brad Buckingham. He is the newest host of one of our shows here, Northwest Territory Sports here on IE Sports Radio, starting next Sunday. Of course, Seahawks fan. We have Miss Gina G. Her show's just ending right now. As a matter of fact, getting close to ending. We're on in the 3 o'clock hour Pacific time right now. So her show, repping to NorCal Sports. Of course, she came on here and repped her Niners. And, of course, we had a, Taryn could have done it. Of course, he's a Rams. He covers our SoCal show. But I wanted to have, because I'm just more of a Charger fan, but he does cover both. But regardless, we got a new guy up in here, Adrian, all the way from Colorado, actually repping his Rams. So all of them, let's just say, didn't have anything kind to say about the Cardinals. I don't know what it is, man. The Cardinals, everyone gets kind of stepped on you guys, kind of sad. But now that you got a lot of firepower, I'm saying there was some respect here and there when everybody did the segment, but I'm telling you, I think the Cardinals kind of got it the worst. Some people think that you guys are going to be in the basement. And now I got to I was thinking that too because I was like, well, who do they really have? But now I got to reevaluate. So my apologies, Angela. I'm being straight up with you. But now that I looked at that, I got to reevaluate. So with that said, Angela, this is your segment. I know you're going to do great at this. You've done great at it the last couple of years. So let us know how you think those other three teams are going to do this year in your division. And, of course, let us know what you really think about them. You can be kind of respectful or mean and nasty. Do what you want to do. But, Angela, it is your time to stick it to them.
Oh, the other teams who just think that they are the above the law and, us Cardinals are just the garbage men down there in the basement. I'm used to it. It happens over and over and over again. But it's a new year. It's a new season. I'm not really sure who Seattle has anymore except for Russell Wilson because besides the fact that they have somewhat decent colors for their team, I don't really pay a lot of attention to them. And they changed the name of their stadium, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, it'll always be CenturyLink Field. The 49ers, well, one of their players is sitting in jail or out of jail or in jail or who knows what Richard Sherman's doing. Does he even know? Does the law even know? Anyways, there's that. And the Rams, well, who's their quarterback again? Matt Stafford. Y'all got Jared Goff for Matt Stafford? I'm still confused about that. Can I just say that? So we've got the lamb chops, the whiners, and the sea chickens. They gonna fly high with my Redbirds.
I'm loving it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still shaking my head on the fact you got rid of Jared Goff for Matt Stafford. Like, Jared Goff's had some pretty good years. He's done a lot of good things for the Rams. Matt Stafford, what has he done for Detroit? Have they made it to a playoff? And no, I don't think so. We actually have a couple years ago. Granted, we kind of fell off the wagon for a little bit, but we have J.J. Watt, we have Chandler Jones, we got Malcolm Butler, we've got Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and Seattle has Russell Wilson. Tyler Lockett, and he's still there, I think. Yeah, the 49ers, I don't even know who their quarterback is. It's not Garoppolo, though, is it? Did they get rid of him? I don't remember. I don't really pay attention to them because that's just irrelevant. But I know it's always fun twice a year playing against them and digging for gold and grilling chickens and popping out some lamb chops. So I'm excited. NFC West, I always say the NFC West is one of the strongest divisions in the NFL. I know every other division wants to argue, but they're still one of the strongest. It's still the one. I will say they are one of the most competitive divisions. There's not a top leader because it has been Seattle. The 49ers have been up top for a couple of times. The Cardinals have been up top for a couple of times. The Rams have been up top. I feel like it's an ever-going carousel of who's going to be on top this year. I'm excited for football. I talk a lot of trash. We all know it. But in reality, my esports family, that's what they are. They're family. I love them. No matter what team they are, I'm still going to talk trash to you. But I still love everyone. And it's always a blast. I'm looking forward to football season.
Let's do this. Well, that said, Angela, thank you so much again for being on today's show. You are awesome. Please let all these diehard Cardinals fans know where to find you.
So you can find me on Twitter at AZCardsPrincess, because that's just what I am, princess and a Cardinals fan. So yeah, give me a follow. Love to talk sports, with any kind of sports, anytime. Football season, if you're not into football, I'm sorry, I blow it up. Larry can tell you, I'm down with everyone and anyone when it comes to football season. So on Twitter is at AZCardsPrincess. So
awesomeness. Well, with that said, everyone make sure to give Angela a follow. She's awesome. Of course, proud member of our PR department here at iSports Radio. So we're looking forward for plenty more great things to you guys and plenty more great things, of course, out of the PR department and for the Cardinals and lots of great things here. So with that said, Angela, thanks again for being on today's show. You are awesome, and I look forward to having you back on the show very soon.
Yeah, thanks, Larry, for having me on, and I look forward to, anytime I need to chatting it up about sports, football, and Cardinals. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
So it's always a pleasure.
It sure is, and we appreciate you being here. So with that said, thanks again. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and God bless you and your family, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, take care. All righty, y'all. Once again, Miss Angela Wistek. Show her some love, y'all. She is awesome, man. So gotta show her some love. That's gonna conclude NFC West. I know we're a little long, but it's all good. Angela, she's good for any time we have here at iSports Radio. So yeah, she's awesome and definitely here on 3 and Out repping her Cardinals. So with that said, y'all, that will do it for all 4 teams in the NFC West. When we get back, I'll be giving you my final weigh-in on this division in the NFC West coming up for this season. So, with that said, we're going to take a short break, and you know what's on the other side, y'all. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC Week, NFC West Day 3 of 4 here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS? Well then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself,
Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head primetime face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
That is right, football fans. You don't want to miss it. The show's a little different now. I got to really update that drop with who's on it. And of course, the college edition as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, can we hear it for all of our combatants, all of our guests here today? My goodness, what a show, what a show. I promised you guys that this series was gonna be as better as, great as it's ever been. In the last couple of years, I've definitely found ways to make it even better, and this show has really just picked up, and it's become just something bigger than I ever thought it would be. So I'm really excited for, the direction, and of course the direction of IE Sports Radio, and so many great things. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you all so much. As I always say, all glory to God. By Him, nothing is possible, man. So I'm just so excited for everything we got moving, and it's all thanks to Him. So thank you, Lord, my Lord and Savior. So, ladies and gentlemen, our Lord and Savior. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rock and roll right on in to my final weigh-in. So, that was fun. I want to go ahead and tell everybody here right now, just in case you haven't listened to the first two, well, hey, we got the voting polls and everything up. So, get on over to the 3 and Out Twitter account at 3 and Out, all spelled out, IESR, and let us know who your best trash talker was, or your favorite trash talker was, of course, during the Stick It To 'em segment, and that was a fun one. That's always a fun one. So, with that said, always, always, always a fun time, and everybody brought it today. Like, seriously, everyone brought it. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed today's show. I mean, as I enjoyed all of them. But it was just a lot of fun and great to talk to everybody, and just what a great group of people. So a lot of fun there, and it was awesome. So get on over. Also, get on over and get your final votes in over at the IE Sports Radio account at IE Sports Radio, and get your final votes for who you think is going to win the division this year. Scroll down. There's about 17 minutes left here, but I'm going to chop it just a little bit earlier. I got to do better time with the timing of that, chopping it down. But you definitely want to check out that and let us know who you think is going to win the division, because I'm going to go ahead and put that up pretty soon, or, announce that here in the chat room. So big ups to everybody. And of course, let us know who your favorite trash talker was today in the Stick'em. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying Stick'em. in the Stick It To 'em segment. So with that said, you guys, I'm just getting this last tweet ready. And so ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time for my final weigh-in. And as you heard me earlier, throughout the entire thing, I really like this division. I am such a fan of this division. I love how these teams are so... they're close. I feel like the Cardinals kind of dropped out for a little bit again. But, man, they're right back at it. I feel like they're competitive again. So we'll find out. We'll see this year what they do. But overall, you guys, I just felt like right now this is a very good spot for all of these teams. And this year we should see probably, in my opinion, one of the closest finishes we've seen in any division in the last couple of years. At least I'm hoping for that, because it's such a good division. So I'm loving it, you guys. I really am, and I'm excited to see it. So with that said, go ahead and jump on in. Hopefully, if you're just joining us, you'll see into 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Talking NFC NFC West, and we are talking here about my final weigh-in. So, with that said, I know I should have gotten all this done earlier with all the Twitter stuff. It's kind of rambling, but let's go ahead and get on in now, all done, into the final weigh-in, or my final weigh-in of this division, the NFC West. So, okay. Unfortunately, and yes, I know I saw some of you earlier in the chat room. It is a total bummer. I mean, this sucks. Yesterday, I saw the tweet, and I really didn't like this. I mean, just for him, for the Rams, for everybody, it just it's a stake in the freaking heart, man. This hurts. Total stake in the heart, and I just hate the fact that it even had to happen. But it's football, unfortunately, and I know he'll be back. But man, Cam Akers, he'll suffer a torn Achilles. This is courtesy of Adam Schefter. Yesterday, I believe, on the 20th. I got it yesterday. I saw it yesterday. Let me click on it just to give you the right time, at 7:28 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, unfortunately, that will do it for his season. So, thoughts and prayers are to you, Mr. Cam Akers. God bless you, man, and I pray for a speedy recovery for you. But it looks like here on the depth chart, Darrell Henderson, young man out of Memphis. Also, Xavier Jones. He is a young man out of SMU. And Jake Funk, a young man out of Maryland. So, this is tough. Are they going to go into free agency? What are they really going to do? I have no idea what the Rams are going to do now. This is the first time in a while they're not going to have this big major running back. I'm devastated for this team because of how promising they looked. And that damn defense. Oh my gosh, this defense. Let's just start with the Rams, okay? So, with that said, right now, look at the depth chart. It's all courtesy of ESPN.com. Taking a look here, you see a solid offense, okay? Now it's a little bit in shambles, but Matthew Stafford making his first start for the Rams. Okay, then this receiving core, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Deshaun Jackson added some flavor. They were going to have a very strong attack, running the ball and through the air. Very, very exciting here. Then you look at this offensive line, and, I'm not going to give them the Offensive Line of the Year award. I mean, the only player I really know on this entire offensive line is Andrew Whitworth, the veteran who was with the Bengals for a very long time. So I don't know. These are the same guys that kept around for the last couple of years. I don't know. I need to pay a little more attention to the offensive line around the NFL. But regardless, Whitworth is the man, and, so pretty solid. Andrew Whitworth, Tyler Higbee, of course, is there. Pretty solid receiver. Tight end. Then we get to this defense. My goodness. Aaron Donald. No one can forget him. And Ashawn Robinson. Beast. Joseph Day and Hollins. Not too familiar with Joseph Day, that is. Sorry, that's the other end. They play at 34. The guessing game defense, as I like to call it, because you never know where the pressure is coming from. But then overall, Floyd, very good stuff there. Mike Kaiser, Kenny Young. I like the linebacking core. And then you look at the secondary. Of course, Jalen Ramsey and Jordan Fuller. Seeing Jordan Fuller there, very nice pickup for them. Glad to have him here as well. And Darius, in LA, that is, glad to have him a part of the Rams because I know they're really happy to have this guy. Pretty dang good safety. Darius Williams and Taylor Rapp. Overall, what I see out of this entire defense is a good, meaty defense that can actually, force a good amount of turnovers this year. I'm not skeptic that they're, I'm not skeptic of this defense at all because I feel like the Rams, I don't know what the hell McVay does over there, but it kind of seems like he makes these no-names play. Sometimes these guys don't have a name yet, and guess what? Then it happens. So I'm not writing them off. I really do think this is a solid defense. I like the Rams this year, but guess what? Now with Cam Akers gone, that might have turned into a smaller really. The Niners. Okay. The San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy G, Trey Lance. Who's going to start? We'll find out. Regardless, they're both pretty good quarterbacks. Jimmy G, he's proven to be a starter in the NFL. And Trey Lance, if he takes that from him, then wow. I'm pretty sure Jimmy G is going to be the guy. But overall, I like it. Mostert, but we heard earlier, too, Jimmy G talking about, the injuries. Yes, Mostert, the guy's even questionable right now on the depth chart. Trey Sermon, good player, but also Wayne Gallman. Remember him from back in the day. Young man out of Clemson a few years back. So, Who are they going to be using? Will they try the three-headed monster thing? I mean, what will we see out of the backfield from here? Mostert just needs to get healthy. He's their number one. But we're going to find out moving forward. Deebo Samuel. I was so high on this guy being drafted a few years ago. Oh my gosh, and I want him on the Raiders. I mean, and when he ended up going to the Niners, I was like, freaking figures. But you know what? He's just... You saw him. You saw him in the Senior Bowl. You've seen what he does. He is awesome. The guy is such a playmaker, okay? Brandon Ayuk, amazing athlete, okay? They also got Mohamed Sanu in there, okay? A veteran, okay? Travis Benjamin's also part of this. Ricky James. Of course, Kittle is healthy, thank God. And that's going to be their bread and butter a lot, for sure. He's nearly a wide receiver for them. So, yeah, good stuff. Okay, Kyle Juszczyk, the guy is seriously one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love what this guy brings to the table. He's a tough freaking fullback. So we have all of this. Alex Mack now part of this offensive line. McGlinchey, I've heard fans get on him time and time again, but he's a pretty good tackle. He'll get with it. Laken Tomlinson, remember he got drafted, freaking monster. Trent Williams, awesome. Okay, Daniel Brunskill is the only guy I'm really not too familiar with, but he's out of SDSU, so I'm a fan. I'm an SDSU fan. But regardless, I'm just saying this is actually a pretty solid offensive line. I like this line better than the Rams line. I really think they're, once again, it's the names, but overall, solid offensive line. What's going on with the offense? Who's going to start? I don't think that's a concern right now. Trey Lance starts, good. If not, they got Jimmy G. Jimmy G starts, good. If not, they got Trey Lance. I feel like they're going to be solid. Running back-wise, slap a running back number on Deebo Samuel, let him run the ball for a while if Mostert is hurt and the other guys don't want to pick up the slack. Or the other guys aren't playing, is what it is. And I know, LOL from Darren in the chat room, Travis Benjamin. Hey, everyone deserves a second chance. But Taryn says, biggest mistake when it comes to Rams, writing them off. Everyone, me included, wrote them off. That wound wound up backfiring. And absolutely, that's why I'm not writing them off. I think they're still a solid team. But overall, you guys, defensively, Eric Armstead, freaking monster. They play the classic 43 defense. I love the 43 defense. Javon Kinlaw, beast. Okay. DJ Jones, don't know too much about him. Let's see where he's from. East Mississippi CC. Oh, well, you look at that. Man, did he come straight out of the... I don't know what happened. Did he really just come from junior college to the NFL? Crazy. That's freaking last chance you. Well, the first season, that is Eastern Mississippi. So, awesome. But with that said, man, Nick Bosa, of course, is questionable right now, but still, they got D Ford there. They got Maurice Hurst now from the Raiders when he was there. They got a solid defensive line still. Linebacking core, pretty legit. Greenlaw, Warner, and Ibaka. Ibaka, of course, coming from the Rams. We've seen that guy play extremely well, at least I did, at least that one day against the Chiefs. And you have a pretty solid secondary. Verrett, solid. Okay. Taryn will tell you about him as a Charger, Jimmy Ward, Jaquiski, I don't want to butcher his name, but Tart, and then, of course, Emmanuel Mosley. Solid, very solid. I like it. Are they going to win the division? I mean, as of right now, they are a favorite of mine. I can see that, but let me just take a quick look here. Moving on to everybody else. Seattle Seahawks. Okay, Russell Wilson's Russell Wilson. If he goes down, damn it. I mean, I hate to say it, but, Geno Smith, not going to throw no shade on him, but I don't know. I don't think he's... Maybe he will jump in and be great, but I just feel like, number one, I just hope nothing happens to Russell Wilson. But overall, this is nice, okay? This is nice having what they got. Okay, pretty solid offensive line. Gabe Jackson's there now, Pelchich, also Dwayne Brown. I mean, gosh dang it, they got a solid offensive line. It's like another one of my favorite. I think they're tied with the Niners for like my favorite, my second favorite, or like my favorite here. Gerald Everett, good tight end. Tyler Lockett, Metcalf, awesome stuff. Then you see Chris Carson. Yes, Brandon said earlier, he's very, 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 Brad Buckingham. Wrong Buckingham here at iSports Radio, but solid. The guy's a workhorse. He's going to make things happen, and I love watching this guy run the football. Honestly, I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be solid, and honestly, he's going to run really well. This offensive line is going to give him some holes to run through. Then you look at the defense. Carlos Dunlap, Poona Ford, and Brian Moan, as well as Kerry Hayter. This is a good defensive line, you guys. I like this defensive line. Can they stay healthy? Let's hope, but great stuff. We're going to find out what happens. Brian Moon, I'm not sure about him. Let's see, out of Michigan. Okay, so overall, you guys, I just feel like this is a pretty good defensive line. They also have L.J. Collier. Don't forget him from a couple years ago. I was very high on him in the Senior Bowl a couple years ago. So good stuff there. Jordan Brooks, Ben Burkervin, and Bobby Wagner. I'm not sure about Ben Burkervin, but I know Bobby Wagner. I think he played for Rancho Cucamonga high school, somewhere right around here in the Inland Empire. But the guy's a freaking beast, okay? The guy is a monster. Went to Utah State, dominated, and now he's a Seahawk. I love watching this guy play. He to me is like another KJ Wright, for this team. And KJ Wright succeeded to Tupu. So it's like there's always been a pretty good middle linebacker here. And I mean, Bobby Wagner is a great sideline to sideline player. As long as he stays healthy, I really think this defense, I mean, even, I don't want to say without him, because, I mean, of course, they're great no matter, I think they're pretty good, solid, no matter what, but he just makes his defense what it is, in my opinion, and I really love it. I think he just adds something more, I guess, even having him in the field. Witherspoon is questionable right now, but Adams, Diggs, and DJ Reed, Reed, good stuff, not the best, definitely not the Legion of Boom. Okay, Akello, I believe I don't butcher his name, but Akello, Witherspoon, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, and DJ Reed. You know what? Solid. Okay? Solid. Not the greatest, but solid. Okay? Diggs, pretty solid. And Jamal Adams, I mean, the guy has proven himself to be a pretty dang good safety. I feel like right now, this defense is a good, solid defense. I really do like this defense. In my opinion, they're not as good as the Niners, I don't feel like right now, but I do like them a little bit more than the Rams. And even the Rams' offensive line, I'm not too fond of, because I don't really know too much about them. But as Terrence said, don't count the Rams out, because, like I said, McVay has his way of making guys who, quote-unquote, don't have a name, have a name. So I like it. I like what he's got, the fire he brings. I personally just really think that, once again, don't count the Rams out. Then you have the Cardinals. Oh, the Cardinals. So short and sweet, Kyler Murray's the guy. We know Kyler Murray's the guy. He goes down, Colt McCoy, yay, just kidding. But Murray is going to make things happen. I don't care who's out there at offensive line. It is what it is. He's another Russell Wilson type player. When he's on the field, they got a chance. Okay? He's just that guy. And I like it. Is he made himself legendary? No. He's not. He's not Aaron Rodgers yet, okay? He's not Tom Brady. He's not there. He's not even Russell yet, but he's freaking great, okay? He's great. I think he's solid, okay? So when it comes to the rest of this offense, Chase Edmonds, you know what? Not bad. Not bad, okay? He's there. Good player. Of course, James Conner will probably be the starter, I think. But regardless, those two can share the ball regardless. Good stuff. DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, my gosh. DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, my gosh. AJ Green. Just so you guys know, this is nice having these guys both out there. Realistically, this is legit. I mean, really, as Terrence says here in the chat room, as you said in my chat room of the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, the Rams are a wild card. You can't predict where they'll finish, and absolutely, no, it's true. Because I'm gonna try and predict right now where they're gonna finish, but I mean, I'll probably be wrong. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like the Rams really are a wild card. You really have no idea, which is exciting for the fans, I think, and for them. They don't even know. I'm kidding. Well, nobody does, but okay. Offensive line: DJ Humphries, freaking beast. Okay, Justin Pugh. Freaking beast, okay? Then you have, let's see here, Hudson, as I said earlier, okay? Absolute monster. Coming from the Raiders. Justin Murray is the only guy Beecham and Justin Murray, the right side of the line. But yeah, out of SMU, 32 years of age, Beecham, and then Justin Murray out of Cincinnati, 28 years of age. Regardless, the left side of the line is solid. Don't know about the other two guys, but regardless, I like this, offensive line so much. So I think they're like right there with the Rams, in my opinion. Then look at this defense. J.J. Watt, 34. Okay, they're playing this 34 defense. Amazing. J.J. Watt, Rashard Lawrence, and Zach Allen. Awesome. Chandler Jones, Zayvon Collins, Isaiah Simmons. Marcus Golden, freakishly great offensive. That front seven is nasty. I love it. Then Byron Murphy, Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker, Malcolm Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put this out there right now. Say what you want to say. Talk some crap. This is actually my favorite defense on paper. Again, paper. On paper. My favorite defense, just looking at them in this division right now, is the Niners. But the Arizona Cardinals, I got to see them play first together. But oh my gosh, I want them to be my favorite so bad. Because, okay, I'm just going to go out there. They're my favorite by a little bit. The Niners are right behind them. Just because of on paper. I know. I shouldn't be saying about the on paper thing. But I'm just saying they're solid. Some matchups I cannot wait to see is J.J. Watt versus every tackle in this league. Of course, Zaven Collins versus the running backs of this league is going to be absolutely awesome. I want to see the wide receivers of the Seattle Seahawks taking on the secondary of the Arizona Cardinals. As well as, the Cardinals. I want to see that, and the Niners. I want to see some major matchups here. I really like this. But regardless, you guys, that's going to do it. I know a little bit more in depth here with all the depth and all that. But regardless, guys, I'm giving you at least what I'm thinking, and there we have it. So we have the poll. The Trash Talker Award. Actually, no, I'm sorry. So you, the listeners, are taking. Let's do this first. For the division, okay? 45% of you are going with the San Francisco 49ers. All right. 25% of you are going with the Arizona Cardinals. Wow. 20% of you are going with the Los Angeles Rams, and only 10% of you are going with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm interested in why you guys are not putting the Seahawks so high. Something you to know that I don't know. But anyway, and the Trash Talker Award will go to the Niners fan, Gina G, with 55%. Good job, Gina G. Second place, we have Adrian with 27%, Brad Buckingham with 14%, and Angela Winstead with 4%. Great job, you guys, and everybody who's on the show. This has been so much fun. And big ups to everybody in the chat room. I just got to say right now, Terrence is a player to watch for the Cardinals. Is Chase Edmonds, absolutely, man. I gotta keep an eye on him. Don't even know much about him. So then Terrence, thanks, Gina. Well, with that said, really happy for everybody, man. Everybody's be here today. Watch it now, there. What are you saying? Watch it now for me, Angela. What's up? But with that said, you guys, this has been real. It has been fun, and it is finally time to give you my final weigh-in. So one more comment here from the chat room. We have, Terrence says, it helps that Gina has a huge following. Yeah, most of her followers are Niner fans. LOL. Yeah, there you go. Well, with that said, you guys, it's about that time for my final weigh-in to give you what I think is going to happen in the NFC West this year. So without further ado, cue the music, because we're out of here! Alright, you guys, this is going to be tough for me. Right now, the Seattle Seahawks have a solid offense that I really like. Is the defense going to make things better? Are the Cardinals' defense going to make anything better? I am going to do this because this is just so tough. Terrence says here earlier, let me go ahead and take a look at Terrence real fast. Terrence says Cardinals 4th, Seattle 5th, Rams 2nd, Niners 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, this is so hard for me to do. I haven't done this in a very long time. Put these guys so low, but I want to see it happen first. I want to see it happen. I hate to put these guys here, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to be putting, don't hate me, you guys. I'm going to actually be putting the Seattle Seahawks at number 4. You guys, I know it's hard, but it's going to be slight. I'm going to give the Seahawks between 6 to 9 wins. Then I'm giving the Cardinals, because I believe that this team will gel and get better. I'm giving them between 7 and 9 wins around there. But it's going to be so slight between those two. The Rams believe it or not, you guys, I'm going to say second, but it's going to be so freaking slight. I'm also giving them between 6 and 9 wins. So I seriously think 2 through 4 are going to be extremely close. And the Niners, they're the top dog. They're good. They're solid. But I'm only going to be giving them about 10 wins. So what am I saying? It's a toss-up. It's really anybody's division for the taking. I thought the Niners are the best team right now, but watch those Cardinals, y'all. So, my final weigh-in. Cardinals, Seahawks, I'm going to say 7. I think it's going to be a strong division. Cardinals, slightly 7 or 8. Actually, you know what? I'm going to flip-flop that. I'm sorry. How about this? Seahawks, 6 to 8 victories. Rams, 6 to 8 victories. Cardinals, 7 to 9-ish victories. And the Niners, I know she's very optimistic, so she's 14-3. I'm saying between 8 and 10. Good teams, good stuff, but that is my final ranking. That's what I'm doing this year, you guys. So with that said, laugh at me later when I get it wrong. With that said, y'all, that's going to do it for today's show. Thank you to everybody who listened. Great show, Larry. As usual, thank you very much. Rapping Northtown Sports Team and crew. Checking all of our shows here at High Sports Radio. We appreciate you all. I love you all. You guys are amazing. 3 days down. We have 12 teams down. And I can't believe this, guys. We have 20 more to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow for NFC East Day. Right around 3 and out. Right here on iSports Radio. You're directly for all that sports. See you tomorrow. Take care.